Senju Tobarama is true to Senju Tobarama, the response is fast. Zhao Yuchen only spoke 4 words, and he deduced many things. That's right. I have some understanding of Kirigakure's current situation. Zhao Yuchen nodded and admitted. This answer made everyone heave a sigh of relief while being curious. It would not be good news if Uchiha Obito was allowed to take a shot against Kirigakure, or even make Kirigakure a member against Konoha. But they didn't ask how Zhao Yuchen knew about Kirigakure's situation, which was obviously a personal secret. But Zhao Yuchen was very straightforward, explaining, if the Rinnegan's power is dispersed, the vision will be shared. Although it won't be the case between 2 different Rinnegans, there can be a feeling. Based on Uzumaki Nagato's adaptation to the use of Rinnegan over the years, coupled with the special constitution of the Uzumaki family, which consumes a large amount of chakra's active induction, they can share the sight of another Rinnegan for a short time. In other words, although Uchiha Obito has improved his strength after getting Rinnegan, he also installed a tracker on himself. A simple summary is that Nagato has a way to see what Obito Rinnegan sees, and Obito also knows that Nagato can see his surrounding environment, but Obito cannot do this to Nagato. They are playing clear cards with each other. So, you put Nagato in charge of following Uchiha Obito? Senju Tobarama asked in an affirmative tone. Zhao Yuchen nodded and said, although the original owner of Rinnegan was Uchiha Madara, Nagato has been using it for so many years, and it has long been regarded as a private property. Uchiha Obito dared to take it away, of course he wants to take it back. With the calculated hatred, Nagato is now focusing on dealing with Uchiha Obito. There is a contact method between me and Nagato. If Uchiha Obito appears, he will tell me as soon as possible. It can be seen that Obito has not appeared in Kirigakure yet. Hearing this, everyone nodded suddenly. In Hokage's office, Terumi Mei was even more relieved. Then if Uchiha Obito knew that Orochimaru was killed, would it be possible that he would not have gone to Kirigakure? Nara asked suddenly. Once Orochimaru died, the key link between Kazekage and the movie disappeared. After Uchiha Obito heard the news, it seemed that there was no need to make a move on Kirigakure. It's possible, but he's bound to go to Mist Shinobi eventually. Putting away the map, Zhao Yuchen said with a calm expression, Uchiha Obito, and what Uchiha Madara wants to do after being resurrected, is to gather 9-tailed beasts to resurrect 10 tails, and become tail Jinchuriki to perform a special ninjutsu. Uchiha Madara believes that jutsu can bring permanent peace to the ninja world. But in fact, Madara is nothing more than a fraud by Black Zetsu. It's useless to say more about the specific situation now, so I won't say it for the time being. Everyone. You arouse our curiosity, and then it is useless to talk to us. You might as well stop talking in the first place. This guy has started to play tricks again. Tsunade and other girls laughed. They knew the real purpose of Black Zetsu, but they didn't feel much in their hearts. Anyway, one thing is certain, all the tailed beasts will be collected. Zhao Yuchen pretended not to see everyone's resentful expressions, and smiled. Rinnegan alone can give Uchiha Madara a power beyond the purpose of the first generation. If you become a 10-tails person Chiriki, the entire ninja world will not be Madara's opponent. To stop all of this, we need to unite with Haktonen village to protect Renly. So I decided to go to Kirigakure and leave the Flying Thunder God stamp. When Obito appears, we can arrive as soon as possible to stop him. To put it simply, Uchiha Obito went to Kirigakure, so just fight and force him back. If Uchiha Obito doesn't go, then arrange means to force him back later. When he grows to the 6 paths level, are as sure to solve Obito, Zhao Yuchen will also take the initiative. I don't think we all need to go to Kirigakure. Senju Tobarama pondered for a while and said, too many people will make Kirigakure wary of us and won't be able to help Uchiha Obito. I think my elder brother and I will accompany you, and the others will go back to Konoha. What do you think? Senju Tobarama looked at Ino Shika Cho et al. It's an inquiry, but does anyone dare to object to second Hokage? I'm Master Tsunade's disciple. I can use Katsuyu to get in touch with Master Tsunade, and I can also use Katsuyu for large-scale healing. Add me. Shizune said proactively. If she dares to go back and cause the group of hungry and thirsty women to lose sight of Yuchen, she will be bullied together. As for Hakura, a Sanagakure hero who was killed by Kirigakure and Sanagakure, is going to Kirigakure not a provocation? Alright. Senju Tobarama nodded after thinking for a while. In terms of treatment, with Senju Hashirama, even Tsunade can't compare, let alone Shizune. But Shizune can contact Tsunade, which can come in handy in many cases. That's the decision. After dinner, the others will return to Konoha directly from here. Zhao Yuchen made the final decision. Then he split several shadow clones and went hunting nearby. After a while, a black bear and some pheasants were brought back. It was brought back together with chili peppers that are not found in the land of fire. I didn't expect to use this thing. You have a good fortune tonight. Zhao Yuchen took the chili pepper and began to process and grind it. Shadow clone deals with wild goods, as well as freshwater fish caught by naruto with shadows. Soon, the aroma of barbecue permeated the entire forest, adding chili sauce and other ingredients, stimulating everyone's taste buds. Began to eat. After more than an hour, Zhao Yuchen called everyone to speak. Akamichi Choza rushed ahead, the first to move. Soon, a group of people fell into a situation where they both enjoyed eating and wanted to eat, but Zhao Yuchen ate very well and thought, I didn't expect that there are chili and peppercorns here, and I will bring some back to the wood leaves to grow and cultivate, or to share with Bow Country to trade. Create a hot pot, it must be very marketable, and then it can make money in the whole ninja world. Hearing his words, Senju Tobarama, who can only watch but not eat, couldn't help asking. Listen to your words, are you also good at making money? Are you good at it? Zhao Yuchen smiled lightly. Don't talk about being better than ninjas, even those nobles are not enough to play with me. When the time comes, I will use commercial means to teach them a good lesson. Hearing this, Senju Tobarama immediately regained his spirits and said, what do you think of the idea of using commercial means to sanction countries and hidden villages? Zhao Yuchen looked at him in surprise, nodded and said, that's great, you can take down all the hidden villages and even the big countries without bloodshed. If there is absolute strength to shock the quartet, it will be easy to peacefully unify the whole ninja world. Really? I have always felt this way, but I can't think of specific plans and means. Can you explain in detail? Senju Tobarama immediately asked for the 10th time, acting like a student. This is very simple. Zhao Yuchen explained to Senju Tobarama enthusiastically. First of all, we need to establish a concept, that is, only benefits are eternal. No ideal, ambition, or power is as useful as uniting the majority of people with interests. On this basis, using violence to coerce the entire ninja world is not something that a peace-loving person likes to do. After possessing absolute strength, with Konoha's unique advantages in all aspects, it is easy to use economic sanctions on the entire ninja world. Let the countries strive for unification, isn't it good? Terumi Mei. Hey, Shizune, why did you suddenly change your perspective? Tamari. I still want to hear Mr. Yuchen's opinion, why did you walk away? Samui. Hurry back. Black soil. It's so confusing to hear. What's so good about it? Compared to this, Shizune, you should ask Yuchen some secrets about this ninja world, I like to hear it. The third daughter of Terumi Mei. Get out of the group, really. You, third Tsuchikage, seem hopeless in this life. Don't be clever. Tsunade saw through the small thoughts of the three, and said bluntly, what Yuchen said is probably the highest development strategy of our Konoha in the future, how could I let you know? Tsunade-ji, you are Hokage. Terumi Mei couldn't help saying. Zhao Yuchen is what he says, can you have some ideas? I'll just nod. Tsunade smiled. Hey, what she does with this Hokage is so easy. She has no desire for power. Seeing her shameless appearance, Terumi Mei felt a burst of emotion. Can't do it. Compared to this, I'm more curious about the barbecue they eat, with some seasoning added, is it so delicious? When Yuchen comes back, you can ask him to do it for you. Tisk, with Mr. Yuchen's character, he must teach Hinata, and then let Hinata come. That's good too. The girls chatted. On the other side, after eating and drinking, Naruto and others drove the vermilion bird mechanism beast to leave. Soon there were two brothers Zhao Yuchen, Shizune and Senju left on the scene. Senju Tobarama looked serious and thoughtful. If Zhao Yuchen hadn't stopped, he still wanted to have another class. Yuchen boy, I don't think Tsunade is good enough for you. Senju Tobarama said from the bottom of his heart. Zhao Yuchen. You were excellent in every way. Xiao Gang's words. I remember the ninjutsu talent is average, only Yang Dun is good at using it, her figure is also average, and she looks good. Now that the Senju clan is popular, it can't bring her a status improvement. She is still an old girl who loves to gamble. Hi. Senju Tobarama shook his head in disappointment. Originally, he really wanted to match Tsunade and Yuchen together. But now, he thinks, forget it, Tsunade doesn't deserve it. Puff. In Hokage's office, all the girls laughed like crazy. Second Hokage is talking nonsense. Ninjutsu talent is average, only Yongdun is good at using it. Who would have thought that Master Tsunade, one of the Sannin, a master of medicine, would have such an evaluation in the mouth of second Hokage? Azuki Shion sighed with a suppressed smile. After Tsunade became famous, she has always been the target of Konoha and even many female ninjas in the ninja world. Many female ninjas yearn for her strength and medical ability. But in the mouth of Senju Tobarama, it is useless. I think the most sincere evaluation is that the figure is average, and the looks are okay. Samuel changed his usual calmness and said, "It seems that the flat chest is not a rumor." Female. Wow, sister, you are so brave to even say this. By the way, you should not be drinking now. The white tiger under the moon, the fruit is unusual. Old girl who loves to gamble. Ha ha ha, master second generation is talking nonsense. Kushina couldn't help but slapped her thigh wildly, and tears flowed from her laughter. Swish. The girls immediately distanced themselves from Kushina, and the smiles on their faces completely subsided. Samui is called Yang, and Kushina is simply desperate. Kushina, are you happy? Tsunade appeared next to Kushina, fists clenched tightly. It's all because of the second generation project, Before Kushina finished speaking, Tsunade had already swung his fist, making a sound of breaking through the air. But the punch missed, passing through Kushina and hitting Hokage's office floor. Crack. The building shook, and cracks appeared on the floor centered on Tsunade's fist, spreading to all sides. The expressions of the girls changed suddenly, and they immediately started to run away. Terumi Mei and Tamari, who were closer to the window, cast the body flicker technique directly. Azuki Shion helped Yuhihong with one hand, and used the Konoha Ryu sword technique to match the body technique, soaring into the air. Hinata and Ino hugged Uchiha Makoto resolutely, and the latter directly opened Mangekyo Sharingan, allowing his soul to fly out as a spirit body and levitate while holding his own body. Kurama Yukumo drew a vermilion bird mechanism beast, and manipulated it to take away himself and the remaining women of Kuroto. Everyone fled outside the Hokage building, watching the upper floors of the building crumble. What's going on? Enemy attack. Countless ninjas gathered in front of the Hokage building, with vigilance in their eyes. 1/3 of the Hokage building was broken, and it is not an exaggeration to say that it provoked the entire day. Utatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura also came soon, with half joy and half worry in their eyes, anticipation and fear. Until Tsunade appeared in the ruins on the next floor, stood up slowly, fists still clenched. Because the building was broken by Hokage-sama. Many people exclaimed in surprise. Knowing that Tsunade is a hothead, how could he act like this? Good news. Utatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura were overjoyed. If the incident of Tsunade's gaffe and destruction of the Hokage building spread, the villagers must think that she is impetuous and not suitable for Hokage. Waiting for Sarutobi Hiruzen to come back, in comparison with his stable image, he is an advantage. They want to learn from the previous Danzo and do their best to help Sarutobi Hiruzen suppress political opponents. But at this moment, Tsunade came to the dilapidated wall and looked down at everyone. Just now, I got a message. Third Hokage, sacrificed. Utatane Kaharu 2 people. Everyone. In order to kill Orochimaru, the S-level rebel, third Hokage decided to burn his last value and perform the trick of killing each other. Tsunade said emotionally, because I was too emotional, I nearly. Tsunade made a motion to wipe away tears. Utatane Kaharu and the two were dumbfounded. Can Sarutobi Hiruzen do such a thing? Female? If we didn't know what the truth was, we would have almost believed it. Sarutobi Hiruzen is also really miserable. People are dead and they have to come out to take the blame. Get ready. Wait for third Hokage's body to return to the village, and hold a hero mourning ceremony. Starting today, everyone in Konoha village will observe 3 days of silence, and all entertainment-related businesses will be closed. Tsunade ordered in a cold voice. The stunned people instantly entered the state. Zhao Yuchen and the others were unaware of all this. Being so recognized by Senju Tobarama, Yuchen was flattered and said, "Thank you Nidem for valuing it, but it is really impossible for me in the 5th generation master because I already have several confidant friends." Hearing this, Senju Tobarama frowned first, then nodded. At first he thought Yuchen looked down on Tsunade, and he was a little unhappy. As an elder, he can say that his granddaughter is not good, but he doesn't want to be looked down upon by outsiders. But after hearing what Yuchen meant that he already had a confidant, He was relieved, thinking that Tsunade really had no chance. But soon, he noticed something was wrong. Tell me, how many confidant do you have? Well, there are already 3 who have confirmed their relationship, and at least 3 more who have confirmed their intentions. Zhao Yuchen nodded frankly. I can testify to this matter. Shizune echoed from the side. This. Senju Tobirama's brain was in a mess for a while. In his cognition, ninjas are not married, are only marry one. In the world of ninjas, monogamy is a kind of unspoken rule that everyone knows well. As a result, Yuchen was not like that. But if you want to say that Yuchen made a mistake, Senju Tobirama, as a character in the last years of Sengoku, didn't think there was a problem. Those big names and nobles can have many women, why can't Yuchen, who is a strong man? And excellent people will of course be favored by many opposite sexes, won't they? Etc. Senju Tobirama suddenly had an idea. He asked with bright eyes, Yuchen, you are a commoner, right? N. Zhao Yuchen nodded. According to his information in Konoha, he is indeed a commoner who was born as an orphan. Good. Senju Tobirama said with a smile on his face. The old man will definitely try his best to make you and Xiaogang talk about a free love. Zhao Yuchen. You, just be happy. Zhao Yuchen twitched slightly. Good guy. What kind of logic genius is Senju Tobirama, who calls it free love? I told him that I have a lot of confidant, and it is impossible to be with Tsunade, but he still wants to promote me in Tsunade. What kind of brain circuit is this? I think he is not Tsunade's second grandfather, but my second grandfather. Zhao Yuchen decisively recorded what Senju Tobirama did. Such an inexplicable thing should not be shared, just record it. He has to remember the goodness of the second grandpa in the future. Seeing the contents of the diary, Tsunade frowned. Not only her, Uzumaki Kushina and others are also at a loss. They didn't pay attention for such a moment. What did they miss? Uzumaki Kushina angry face. Shizune, what's your situation? Shizune. Hey? Didn't the sisters watch the live video? Uzumaki Kushina. Cough. There is a small situation on our side, but it is not important. Tsunade. Hehe, Kushina, let me tell you, you are dead. I am waiting for the day when your body will be rebuilt. Uzumaki Kushina. You can't be unreasonable. To be honest, it's second generation, not me. Tsunade. HMPH, you think I will let second grandpa go? You all have to die. Azuki Shion. Shizune. So what's going on with you guys? Are you sure Yuchen-kun's diary is not written indiscriminately? Shizune. Mr. Yuchen doesn't seem to have written the contents of the diary indiscriminately. The situation is actually like this. Shizune shared the questions Senju Tobirama asked in Yuchen's answer. Tsunade. Did second grandfather get his head hurt during the Orochimaru Impure World reincarnation? Tsunade. The front is quite normal, but when I heard that Yuchen has several confidant friends, I want to mess up the Mandarin ducks. Azuki Shion. This question is a bit of an obsession, and I don't understand the brain circuit of Master Second Generation. Hyuga Hinata. No wonder Yuchen Big Brother would say that second generation is more like his grandfather. Terumi Mei. Interesting, I have the opportunity to interview second generation. All the girls said they couldn't figure it out for a moment. No, there is one exception. Otsutsuki Kagaya. A group of stupid women who don't understand this. Terumi Mei. Who is this, with such a heavy mouth? Makoto. Kagaya-ji. How can you come out? Otsutsuki Kagaya. Hey, the ban on the copy of the diary can trap the people? Diary copy reminder. The first time the ban is 3 days, the second time is 7 days, the third time is 1 month, and the fourth time is lifelong, unless all members agree to lift it. In the first ball space, Kaguya's expression froze. This copy of the diary slapped her in the face like this, and it was exactly as disgusting as its hateful owner, Yuchen. Makoto. Tisk, the official slap in the face is the deadliest. Kushina. Diary. My master is Yuchen, other people are not used to it. Oh, I forgot that Kagaya-ji is not human yet. Kagaya-ji. You actually called me a concubine. Kushina. Are you human? Kagaya-ji. Concubine body. Makoto. Kagaya-ji, tell me why second generation said those things. Kagaya-ji. Are you asking for a concubine, or questioning? Makoto. If you don't say it, we will vote for you in the second round now. Kagaya-ji. How dare you threaten my concubine? Makoto. That's right, I'm threatening you. Damn woman. Wait for me. I will definitely turn into white Zetsu and bully you in infinite Tsukuyomi. Kagaya didn't have the cold mood of the past at all, and cursed angrily. Kagaya-ji. The concubine is not as knowledgeable as you. Kagaya-ji. Senju Tobarama thinks that vaccination is not enough. If the direct descendant of a powerful race in the universe is a disciple, they will find excellent collateral and outsiders to do this. Vaccination? The girls were stunned for a moment, and then they all reacted. It means to let Tsunade find Yuchen to have a child, and the child belongs to Senju? The Senju clan regained their glory at the hands of Tsunade? This Senju Tobarama is really a good idea. Boom. Tsunade threw another punch, turning the Hokage building into ruins and making it a thing of the past. Seeing this, the nearby villagers and ninjas praised Tsunade in their hearts, which means that the purpose of the third generation is so sad. If Tsunade knew what they were thinking, he would roar. The fart is sad for third generation, she is still planning to settle accounts after the fall. What the old monkey did must be announced to the public to alert the world. Zhao Yuchen's promise has nothing to do with her fifth Hokage Tsunade. Tsunade. Shizune, let's show your cards, give me a straight hand to beat the second grandpa. Shizune. Master Tsunade, this is not a question of whether to showdown or not. It's just that once I make a move, are you sure I'm still alive? A man with forbidden technique and hidden all over his body can kill her several times casually, and the method is not the same every time. Xianglin. Brother Yu Chen is protecting you, you will be fine. Ino. Xianglin, I'm still trying to attract people for Yu Chen at this time, because there's no need for it. Samui. Tsunade-ji, please calm down. Tsunade. Calm down. My dear second grandpa wants me to be a tool for inheriting the family, how do you let me calm down? Azuki Shion. Master Tsunade, Master second generation also said that they want to promote your free love, so everything is up to you, not forced. Karama Yakumo. If I have a grandfather like second generation, help me find my husband early, I will definitely wake up from my dream. Kurenai. Actually, I can understand Master Tsunade. After all, the old monkey wanted to plot against me back then, but there is an essential difference between the two. The old monkey was trying to plot against me for Sarutobi Asuma, while the second generation was for Master Tsunade. Want to promote you. Kushina. You are hypocritical, what is there to be angry about? The elders see a junior who is suitable for their descendants, why can't they make a blind date? Come on Nai. Seeing this sentence, Tsunade, who was about to calm down, became angry again after a while. She didn't have a problem with Zhao Yuchen, but she was upset with Senju's self-assessment behavior even after returning to the village to see her. Kagaya-ji. Human beings are so hypocritical. From the perspective of a concubine, your second grandfather is a reliable person, and you should be grateful. Tsunade. Please shut up if you are not a human being, and vote to silence and warn. Makoto. Vote ban warning. Ladies, submit. At this time, of course he chose to bully Kagaya to divert Tsunade's attention. You. In Shicho's space, Yi was so angry that he rolled his eyes. She didn't understand how, to be fair, she was set on fire instead. These women must be jealous of her beauty and deliberately slander her. Inferior human beings are waiting for concubines. It won't be long before the concubine can break free from the seal. When the time comes, let you all bow down. Kaguya's long hair fluttered, but she didn't say a word in the group. After being banned, I can only watch but not speak, sometimes it is really uncomfortable. Call. Beside Zhao Yuchen, Shizune breathed a sigh of relief every day. If Tsunade really forced her to fight Senju Tobarama, it would be terrible. What's wrong? Zhao Yuchen noticed something was wrong with Shizune. No, it's nothing. Shizune smiled and said, I'm just curious, Yuchen, to see where you're going first. At this time, the four of them were moving at high speed, but the direction of their journey was not aimed at Kirigakure, but deflected at a certain angle. Obviously, Zhao Yuchen did not intend to go directly to Kirigakure. I plan to go to Fenglifang in Mount Gechung first, Zhao Yuchen said bluntly. Mount Gechung, Fenglifang? Shizune thought about it. She has followed Tsunade in the ninja world for more than 10 years, and has been to or heard of many places. Is it the hidden village of the stronghold where the earth spiders live? Shizune thought of a message. That's right. Zhao Yuchen nodded and said, the patriarch of the soil spider clan, Zheng Ji Xingje, passed away not long ago, and I decided to take his granddaughter Ying. Is there anything special about this Hotaru? Shizune wondered. Zhao Yuchen is a time traveler, so he must not be so concerned about the common woman, and he is not even in a hurry to rush to Kirigakure. She has inherited the forbidden technique passed down from generation to generation by the earth spiders, which is a power that cannot be mastered by others. Zhao Yuchen said seriously. Hearing this, Shizune didn't ask any more questions. Since it is a forbidden technique and is still feared by Zhao Yuchen, it is not for her to inquire about it. But Shizune is self-aware. Senju Tobarama is the complete opposite. How powerful is the forbidden technique that has been passed down from generation to generation? Senju Tobarama asked. As a master of forbidden technique, he is competitive and wants to compare all forbidden techniques. Tobarama, Hashirama said angrily. Why does this brother ask all the questions? It's inconvenient to say. Mr. Yuchen naturally won't say it. Tobarama said that he didn't force Yuchen to explain. There's nothing you can't say. Zhao Yuchen said calmly. The name of this secret forbidden technique is fufation. Once it is used, it can cause an explosion centered on itself, destroying everything within half a distance of hundreds of kilometers. What? Senju Tobarama's indifferent expression froze, and he confirmed, how much did you say? With a radius of hundreds of kilometers, the second generation project can also be understood as hundreds of kilometers of Fang Yuan. Zhao Yuchen said. Senju Tobarama swallowed his saliva, and said in surprise, wouldn't that destroy half of the land of fire and hundreds of Konoha villages in an instant? Even if Senju Hashirama's firepower is fully fired, the attack power will only spread to tens of kilometers of Fang Yuan. The power of this secretary is still tens or even 100 times higher than Senju Hashirama's peak full blow. Incredible. This kind of forbidden technique should cost a lot and take a long time to prepare, right? Senju Tobarama's voice trembled a little. Had he mastered this ninjutsu, even a weakened version, he could have killed the evil Uchiha Madara. The price? Zhao Yuchen thought about it carefully, and said, it seems that it's only a few days of weakness and uncontrollable power, so there is no big price. The preparation time is about 1,800 seconds, which is 30 minutes. Well, I'm only talking about the general situation. If there is enough time to prepare, the explosive power of Furious Sky will cover a diameter of several million kilometers or more. Zhao Yuchen continues to stimulate the hearts of Senju Tobarama and others. Thousands of miles, I am afraid that the continent where the ninja world is located will be cleaned. Senju Tobarama said in a shocked tone. There is such a powerful forbidden technique in this world. The most important point, after using this forbidden technique, is he still alive? Black soil, incredible. Tamari. Even if the person who said this information is Mr. Yuchen, I can't believe it. Samui. Does this kind of forbidden power really exist? Kagaya. Is this amazing? Infinite Tsukuyomi directly controls the whole ninja world, isn't it more powerful? If you use Tengai Shinsei, you can let meteorites wipe out the ninja world. What is an explosion with a few million forces? They are strong men of the Otsutsuki family, who can explode stars at will, and even rewrite the will, cognition, and memory of all living beings on a planet. Female. I have nothing to say to you, an alien woman. Tsunade. It is true, Terumi Mei should have some impression, right? Terumi Mei. I remember that during the Third World War, Konoha's main forces were all against Sanagakure, Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village, and against the Heavy Hermits, they only dispatched the Yushion clan and the Tien Spider clan. Terumi Mei. At that time, many unknown large-scale explosions occurred, resulting in heavy casualties in Kirigakure, and we were unable to move westward, so we changed our strategy to attack the land of winds around the sea. Tsunade. During the 3 World Wars, the Old Monkey and the leaders of the Soil Spider clan established an alliance to deal with Kirigakure together, and designated Wrath of the Sky as a forbidden technique. In exchange, when the Soil Spider clan was in crisis, Konoha must rush to the rescue. Tsunade. I remember the activation principle of Wrathful Sky is to store the chakra in nature, that is, to detonate after the chakra in the fairy art. The longer the storage time, the greater the damage range. Tsunade. But each generation of this forbidden technique seems to be inherited by only one person, and its power is related to the constitution of the caster. Tsunade. From now on, it seems that Ying Zhixing's granddaughter Ying is very suitable for this forbidden technique. Hearing this, the girls were suddenly stunned. Sage mode, divine tree fruit, yin-yang escape, etc. When it comes to natural chakra, there is nothing simple. This angry day is using the power of natural chakra, it seems normal to be so strong. Terumi Mei. This firefly has mastered the only forbidden technique passed down from generation to generation in the soil spider family. Why is Mr. Yu Chen so confident that he can take her away? Tsunade. Shizune asked. Mr. Yu Chen. Shizune adjusted his emotions, and then asked, since the forbidden technique is so powerful, can the people of the soil spider family allow you to take Ying away? This matter sounds really difficult. Senju Tobarama agreed. This firefly can be said to be a strategic weapon, and the earth spiders can't easily let people go, even if it's against us. This ally. When Tsunade gave science popularization to the girls, Zhao Yuchen also gave an on-site explanation to the three Tobarama. Don't let people go. Zhao Yuchen showed a strange expression, and said to Shizune, the situation of Yingying in Fenglifang is similar to that of Jinchuriki in other villages, but because she is the granddaughter of the patriarch, she has not encountered anything. Not good. But what do you think will happen after the soldier in service dies? Hearing this, Shizune's expression changed suddenly. Seeing this, Senju Hashirama wondered, is there anything wrong with Jinchuriki? I remember that Mito was a nine-tails Jinchuriki, and he was very much loved in the village. Well, I'm going to talk about that good disciple of Master Second Generation again. Zhao Yuchen gave Shizune a wink. Shizune understood and told what happened after the Nine-Tails Rebellion. Monkey, bastard. After listening to it, Senju Hashirama, who always wanted to haha, was moved and furious. The son of a hero actually appeared and grew up with supercilious eyes, and even a lot of the food he ate was expired. Not only did Sarutobi Hiruzen not care about it, but instead he continued to deepen his image in Naruto's heart, trying to control Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. How despicable. Tobarama, look at the good apprentice you have taught. Brother, Monkey, like Danzo, has been expelled from me, and I will announce it when I return to Konoha. Senju Tobarama said with a dark face. I thought Sarutobi Hiruzen was just greedy for power, but I didn't expect him to be a shameless guy. It's just embarrassing for him. Not only is the name of disciple removed, I also decided to remove the name of Hokage, Tobarama said. Hearing this, Hashirama should have some hesitation. The monkey has been in power for nearly 4 years. There is no credit but hard work. First generation, the Sarutobi clan is now in Konoha's Jonin, more than 3,000. Before Senju Hashirama could finish speaking, Zhao Yuchen suddenly said something. Hashirama's expression suddenly darkened. He never regretted his decision to integrate the Senju clan into the village, and he also hoped that other ninja clans would do the same, and successive Hokages also respected this idea. But now it seems that Sarutobi Hiruzen has only implemented half of the calendar years. He really doesn't deserve to be Hokage. Senju Hashirama nodded. Brother, don't worry, I will settle everything with Monkey, even if he is dead. Ultimate coldness appeared in Senju Tobarama's eyes. If Sarutobi Hiruzen was in front of him, he would want to kill himself once. Except for abusing real power and mistreating the son of a hero, what else has the monkey done these years? Senju Tobarama asked Zhao Yuchen. He really wanted to see what other eye-popping things this beloved disciple he had entrusted to Hokage had done. That's too much, and I can't finish it in a few days. Second generation, I'd better wait until I get back to Konoha, and read the investigation data slowly. Zhao Yuchen didn't want to talk about Sarutobi Hiruzen. A dead person who is destined not to be resurrected is not worthy of his attention and wealth. Other things are naturally done by Senju Tobarama. However, there is one thing that can be said. Zhao Yuchen suddenly remembered something, and said with a smile, before I became Hokage's assistant, I taught at a ninja school. In the ninja school textbooks, the historical deeds of Shodai and Naidem, and some other ancestors are decreasing year by year, resulting in many younger generations who don't know or even have heard of you. Many students are unaware of the existence of ninjas such as Senju, the hardships of survival in the Sengoku era, the establishment of ninja schools, etc., and they don't even have the most basic memories of bitterness and sweetness. The most ridiculous point, Sarutobi Hiruzen is called the strongest Hokage in textbooks. Even, this has become the cold saying of most Konoha people today. Senju Hashirama. Senju Tobarama. Guys, they have guys in their hearts. Changing the historical deeds of the ancestors can be said to be advancing with the times. Deletion of ninja information such as Senju can be said to promote the fusion of Konoha, of course, ignoring the benefit of the Sarutobi clan. But Hokage is known as the strongest, how did he have the face to do it? Monkey. This guy can really keep refreshing his shameless offline in my heart. Senju Tobarama took a deep breath and said, He is the strongest Hokage. If I knew it, I would have learned his current strength. Wonder if he can block Big Brother's wooden golem jutsu, or avoid my flying thunder god slash. I don't know if my elder brother needs to turn on sage mode, and if I need to use forbidden technique. Ah. Senju Tobirama gave a meaningful chuckle. When Zhao Yuchen saw this, a smile flashed in his eyes. What he said are facts, not exaggerated. It's just that the person who did this was not Sarutobi Hiruzen himself. Some were instructed by Danzo, some were people who wanted to please Sarutobi Hiruzen, and some were strategic issues. But obviously, Senju Tobirama is all credited to Sarutobi Hiruzen. At that time, the storm will definitely come more violently. I hope Sarutobi can bear it. Zhao Yuchen mourned for 3 seconds in his heart. Well, here we are. Sensing Chakra's appearance, Zhao Yuchen's eyes lit up, and he pulled Shizune to accelerate again. Seeing this, Hashirama and Tobirama followed immediately. At the same time, Cloud Shinobi Village Sea of Thunder Country. Fourth Raikage Eye slapped the table and shouted angrily. I asked you to make a plan, but you couldn't come up with a decent plan. Is there no other smart people in the village except Samui and Mabui? The old man doesn't mind taking people directly to the charge, but the old man is not stupid. He can't serve as Orochimaru's spearman, and he has to guard against that old fellow Onogi. In a word, Konoha village must feel the pressure of our Cloud Shinobi village. Let them send out a lot of power, and let Orochimaru take advantage of it. But our goal is Iwagakure. That's right, the real target of the 4th generation Eyes War is not Konoha, but Iwagakure. During World War III, Iwagakure replaced their 3rd Raikage Eye in Cloud Shinobi village with tens of thousands of ninjas. It was a blood feud. Over the years, Cloud Shinobi village has temporarily put aside the background of the Thunder Kingdom to start a war. He has always had the idea of attacking and destroying Iwagakure, but no one agrees. What most people worry about is that Konoha will take the opportunity to recover his vitality again, become the #1 hidden village in the ninja world, and even reap the benefits of being a fisherman. But now, Orochimaru united with many countries to attack Konoha, and it is destined that Konoha will have to pay a huge price even if he can carry it, so it will not be a worry. In addition, they got the news from the spies that Iwagakure Four Tails Jinchuriki Lao Z defected. With so many favorable conditions, he couldn't bear it if he didn't make another move. Master 4th Raikage, can't we wait until Orochi and Konoha decide the outcome? Izabui thought of his responsibilities and his identity as a member of Cloud Shinobi Village, and finally couldn't hold back and said, the news from Samui shows that although Konoha lost Danzo, Tsunade-ji returned. Uzumaki Kushina and Uchiha Makoto both have cage-level strength. Combined with Jiraiya, one of the Sannin, and 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and the mysterious Hokage assistant Yuchen, the high-end combat power has returned to #1 in the ninja world hidden village. 3rd Tsuchikage Onoki's character is insidious and cunning, and he likes to betray others the most. Orochimaru said that he is willing to deal with Konoha together. We have to be suspicious, and the time of Four Tails Jinchuriki's defection is too coincidental. We still need to do more investigation. We shouldn't start a war right now. Izabui knows how difficult Konoha is to deal with now, and Orochimaru's plan is absolutely useless. At that time, Iwagakure will definitely follow the wind, and their sneak attack on Cloud Shinobi Village will become a hard nut to crack. It is really a battle of clams. She can only use the information obtained from the copy of the diary, but cannot say it, so she can only analyze it rationally from the perspective of the secretary. Mabui, shut up. Seeing that many people were persuaded, I from 4th generation regretted letting Mabui attend the meeting. He patted the table again and said, in short, this time the war is settled, and Iwagakure must be fought. You start the discussion on this premise. If Lord 4th Raikage wants to go his own way, please remove me as secretary. Mabui stood up and strongly objected. This is something she would never do before, because she knew her identity and could only give advice and lead Raikage to make decisions, and Raikage would bear all the results. This is Shadow, which represents rights and responsibilities. But now, she knows that 4th Raikage Eye's decision is wrong. If she still doesn't stand up, she will be irresponsible to Cloud Shinobi Village. Okay. Then you are dismissed. A look of astonishment flashed across 4th Raikage Eye's eyes, followed by rage. The rights of the secretary seem to be great, but they all come from Hokage, and they have no position themselves. He regards Mabui and Samui as right-hand men, not letting them take care of him. Master Raikage, you. Izabu was speechless, then disappointed. 4th Raikage Eye, after all, is still the reckless man who does his own way. With him, Cloud Shinobi Village will be strong enough even for a while, but it has no future. I hope Samui can take care of Yuchen and bring peaceful unity to the ninja world, Mabui thought. I will put my words here, and the price of failure will be borne by me. Fourth generation I patted his chest, glanced fiercely at everyone, and said angrily, but this time, we must launch a war against Iwagakure. Even if the daimyo and sage of 6 paths come, they can't stop me. Then what about the old man? A rough voice came from the door. Everyone looked over there, and their pupils shrank suddenly. Third generation, second generation. The dead third Raikage brought people back to life? Fourth generation I acted calmly, because he had already been shocked. This is not the old man, but the reincarnation of Dirty Field. Orochimaru, I told you to restrain yourself. What are you doing? Fourth generation I said coldly. He also thought that third generation I was under the control of Orochimaru to deliver some news. Stab. The ear-piercing sound of thunder and lightning sounded, and third generation I turned into lightning and flashed in front of fourth generation I, raising his arms. Boom. Fourth generation I was sent flying, but lightning flashed all over his body. Orochimaru, are you provoking me? Provoke you? Lousy beat you to death. What followed was a scene of loving father and son, which attracted the crowd of the entire Cloud Shinobi village. Killer Bee rapped to explain the scene, and fourth generation I also knew that third generation I was not controlled by Orochimaru, and simply wanted to beat him up to make him clear his mind. At the same time, Onoki received a secret letter from Haitu. Third Hokage and Orochimaru died together, but first Hokage and second Hokage resurrection, or immortal impure world reincarnation. Onoki's body shook violently, thinking of the Titan rising from the ground. Quick, 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 pass on the order. The border guards will return to the village first, leaving only a few teams to guard. After all the garrison troops return to the village, the personnel who change defenses will go up again. They must not stimulate the ninja troops stationed at the border. At the same time, Luo Sha also received a message from Temari's summoning beast. Hakura joins Konoha. Orochimaru is dead. First generation, second Hokage impure world reincarnation resurrection? Luo Sha immediately consulted with Grandma Chio. Discussion. What discussion? Mother-in-law Chindai's face was pale, and she said angrily, I don't know what Konoha's collapse plan is. The old man has been living in seclusion and has not participated in Sanagakure affairs. After speaking, the representative directly withdrew. She knows how powerful the first generation is, and playing Shuhei is like playing. And Senju Hashirama is the well-deserved first among the 5 first generations. Impure world reincarnation isn't dead yet. Are you going to break Konoha? If Konoha doesn't come to mess with you, you can go to the temple to thank the Bodhisattva. Luo Sha. It seems that a remedy must be made. Why don't you go to Konoha to mourn third Hokage? At the same time, Feng Lifeng. The progress of the matter was even smoother than Zhao Yuchen expected. When he reported himself and took out the items proving Hokage's assistant status, he was warmly received by the Earth Spiders. When he said that he was going to take Ying away and let Konoha take care of it, the Soil Spider tribe didn't give up at all, and handed her over to him directly, because they felt like sending away the plague god. In fact, for the Earth Spider tribe, the person who masters a tribe of forbidden technique is the god of plague. Because their forbidden technique will attract the covetousness of all kinds of people, the Soil Spiders are attacked from time to time. At the same time, if those who have mastered the forbidden technique can't control it well, they will trigger small explosions from time to time, causing losses and even casualties to the clan. Every generation of people who master the Fufa Heaven will often live in a relatively remote place in the village, and they are destined to have few close friends. The angry sky can only be used as a strategic weapon, but the Earth Spiders are very small, and they can't use this level of weapons, and they only want to survive. So when Zhao Yuchen said that he would announce to Ninja World that he had taken away Nufation and let Konoha build Fulifang, the Soil Spiders agreed very simply. They don't count as betraying Firefly, because Firefly's life will be better and more valued after she loses Konoha. This appears to be a happy deal. Zhao Yuchen found a place and said to Ying, take off your clothes and let me see your back. Shizune. Mr. Yuchen, you set aside first generation and second generation for this. Yuchen wants to plot against Ying, or take advantage of it. No, absolutely not. How could I think so? Shizune shook his head, dismissing distracting thoughts. Hotaru is indeed a beautiful girl, with Brown's long curly hair and green pupils, giving people an indescribable charm. But she is only 14 years old now, although in the ninja world she is already at the age to marry, but she is still underage. And Zhao Yuchen mentioned in his diary that he would not take action against girls of inappropriate age, at most they would be raised by Lolita. Shizune felt that if Zhao Yuchen had bad intentions, it should be towards her. Take off your clothes. Excuse me, is it right here? Ying sat on the grass, turned her head and secretly looked at Zhao Yuchen's face, with her hands on the clothes on both sides of her shoulders, and a strange blush on her cheeks. Seeing this, Shizune's inner alarm bell rang loudly. She felt that she shouldn't worry about Yuchen thinking about Hotaru, but the opposite. Zhao Yu is tall and handsome, with outstanding temperament, status, and powerful strength, so he is bound to be welcomed by girls. Firefly may not be able to bear it. Well, you don't need to take it off, just show your back. Zhao Yuchen nodded with one hand on his chin, expectant eyes. Forbidden technique is so angry that it can be described as a nuclear bomb in the ninja world. The principle of this forbidden technique is to absorb the natural chakra, that is, the fairy chakra is continuously compressed and fused, and finally detonated. Ying's talent is outstanding. After manipulating the secret, she only needs to store her gas for 1,800 seconds to cause an explosion that covers Fang Yuan for hundreds of kilometers without endangering her own life. If I let her store her energy first, and when time is enough, I will use Flying Thunder God to take him to the center of a ninja village. It only takes 4 short times, totaling 2 hours, to destroy the other 4 hidden villages. At that time, it will be enough to make other ninja villages surrender, and it is really tempting to think about it. No, you don't want to. Seeing the updated contents of Zhao Yuchen's diary, all the women's hearts skipped a beat, even the sons and daughters of the U.S. military who have already learned the power of raging husband in Na's hands are no exception. They didn't expect that Zhao Yuchen would have such a dangerous idea. Covering Fang Yuan hundreds of kilometers, not to mention the center of the village, the secret base and training ground near the village will be razed to the ground, not a single ant can stay. They don't know what a nuclear bomb is, but now they understand the power. That is a more powerful deterrent weapon than the tailed beast Jinchuriki. Absolutely cannot make 4th Raikage Sama and Konoha an enemy. Unless Yukong joins us at Cloud Shinobi Village. Cloud Shinobi Village, by the window of Raikage's office. Mabui looked at 4th Raikage who was being lectured by 3rd Raikage in the square outside. His eyes became more and more determined. Originally, she thought that this copy of the diary was a good gift for giving benefits. She could get a reward every 10 days. As long as she didn't contact Yuchen, she could go whoring for nothing. But now, she realized that her thoughts were too naive. Get a reward every 10 days. The attractive rewards include the chance of resurrection, blood succession limit, tailed beast, etc. But there are also common 3 body technique, various E-level, D-level ninjutsu, illusion, body technique, and common items. There is one chance to win a prize every 10 days, who dares to say that he will definitely get something good? 36 times a year, I dare not make such a guarantee. But if it is mentioned in Yuchen's diary, getting 100% chakra growth, and even breaking through the upper limit of one's own talent, is a stable gain. Most importantly, for most people, Yuchen itself is a treasure with ultimate allure. Without giving too many examples, let's just say that he decided to improve 100 healings mark, and vowed to teach every beauty this point, which will make many women yearn for it. Not to mention the increase in physical strength, which woman can refuse the 2 points of beauty shaping and eternal youth? Not to mention, Zhao Yuchen also knows many secrets in the ninja world. The method of going to the moon to settle, the forbidden technique, the nuclear weapon, and weapon. Shendu is in control, the method of making money casually, etc. This may not be a reward, but a trap full of temptation. Opening the copy of the diary again, looking at the several ways to get rewards on the homepage, Mabuyi's eyes froze. She felt that if a woman really stares at the 3rd reward mechanism and thinks about a random reward once every 10 days for free, she will definitely regret it in the end. After possessing a copy of the diary, a smart person should realize that Zhao Chen is the greatest reward. As long as I can become friends with Hamura in the end, or even go to everything, I will get a lot more than rewards, and it will be easier. Nobody should be that stupid, Mabui thought. Decided. Find a suitable reason to go to Konoha village to join in the fun. The 3rd reward mechanism depends entirely on acting skills, but the 4th reward mechanism will be very fun. I'm looking forward to it. At the same time, Lu Hai is above. There was a lot of fear in Camilla's eyes. After only half an hour of energy storage, an explosion covering hundreds of kilometers can be triggered, easily destroying the fleet she is in. It seems that this legendary is full of gold, and the continent with ancient relics is not so easy to attack. We have to find a way to remind the leader to be more cautious. Perhaps, an advance unit can be sent to investigate. Camilla thought carefully, and as a knight, she quickly made a decision. Let me go there myself to see if this continent is really powerful. There is also this person named Yu Chen, who knows something about the Geller's stone and the underwater ruins. After defeating him, you can make him my servant. The corners of Camilla's mouth hooked slightly, and a look of anticipation appeared in the blood-colored eyes. There are almost no such handsome men in her hometown, and they are very capable. If I wait to bring it back to my hometown, I am afraid that Her Majesty the Queen will be envious. What a powerful forbidden technique. Summoning the island of beasts, Uzumaki Hinoka opened her small mouth slightly and was shocked. If that firefly came to this island to cast a wrathful sky once, she would be completely relieved, right? Unfortunately, I cannot contact the outside world. How about making some drifting bottles for help? Uzumaki Hinoka had a whim. At this time, somewhere within the Kingdom of Fire, in a mountain range close to the border of the Kingdom of Wind, Nadeko Shizuka, who just finished dancing practice, exclaimed. The forbidden technique of Furious Day, casually, is enough to destroy their childless time. This Mr. Yu Chen, who knows so many secrets, I should not be able to beat him. Shizuka was very anxious. If she can't beat her, how can she let Yu Chen marry her? No, I have to work harder. I want to become stronger until I can defeat him and let him enter the hole. Nadeko Shizuka's eyes became firmer, and the training became more serious. Zhao Chen didn't know about all this. He is watching Yingying's back now, his eyes are very serious. Yingying's skin is very fair and tender, and there is no trace of fat on the back, but Zhao Yu Chen didn't pay attention to these, but observed a piece of metal facing the middle of the chest. This metal is embedded in the body, and it also makes the nearby meridian muscles look a bit hideous. This is forbidden technique, Shizune asked in surprise. She couldn't imagine having something like this embedded in her back. If you find a mirror, you will definitely feel inferior when you see it, and feel that you are humble. She began to sympathize with Hotaru in her heart. Perhaps this is one of the costs of mastering this forbidden technique. This forbidden technique is indeed some kind of special tool. Zhao Yuchen's eyes were clear, without any disgusting observations. Yingying noticed this situation and asked Zhao Yuchen with her neck tilted, "Don't you think she is ugly?" From appearance alone, yes. Zhao Yuchen nodded honestly, but when Yingla bowed his head, he continued, "But it carries your dream of revitalizing the Earth Spider clan. I think it's very beautiful." All the girls watching the live broadcast, hey, it's a foul for you to be so flirtatious. And Shizune, are you just watching and not doing something? Yingying's eyes suddenly brightened, and tears welled up in her eye sockets. She said pleasantly, "Master Yu Chen, do you know why I planted this ban?" "Of course, isn't it because your grandfather promised to revitalize the Earth Spider clan before he died, so he took the initiative to accept this forbidden technique?" Zhao Yuchen smiled and said, "But you used the wrong method." I have already felt it." Yingying lost her head and bowed her head. After she accepted the forbidden technique, the attitude of the villagers towards her changed significantly. Except for a few followers who are responsible for guarding her, they don't have any reason to get close to her. At the same time, she also realized that she couldn't get anything by relying on forbidden technique, which would make people fear her instead. So when Yu Chen came to find her, she agreed positively, even though this behavior might be so abnormal as to expose a copy of the diary. "It's okay, you've already done it." Zhao Yuchen stretched out his hand to rub Yingying's head, and said with a smile, "Actually, the people who have launched sneak attacks on your village all this time are those in your village who yearn for such a forbidden technique. Who are those people? You don't need to know. I will take action to solve the problem." From now on, the Earth Spider clan can establish diplomatic relations with the outside world, and can also send some juniors to Konoha to study, and I, Konoha, will also send people here to participate in the investment and construction of 7. Your promise to your grandfather has been fulfilled. Hearing this, Ying finally couldn't help it. Tears welled up in her eyes. She turned around and hugged Yu Chen. Zhao Yu Chen patted her back lightly to calm her down. Seeing this scene, Shizune smiled from the bottom of his heart. But the next moment, when she saw Zhao Yu Chen's actions, she was dumbfounded. Shizune watched Zhao Yu Chen tear off the sleeve of Hotaru's left arm, revealing an arm like a lotus root, and a big F*K word. This is the key to Nufation's operation. The specific operation method is also engraved on the back of the electric. Zhao Yuchen explained to Shizun without looking back, and at the same time began to study it seriously. As long as you read the sealing rune above, you can control the forbidden technique of Fufation. Even the owner, Yingying, can hardly resist it. That is to say, Yingying only serves as the carrier of this forbidden technique, not necessarily the controller of this forbidden technique. Of course, after Zhao Yuchen masters the method of use, he will definitely hold this forbidden technique in his hands. It is best to find a way to devour natural chakra directly without a carrier. Then this is really a nuclear bomb, which can be filled and used infinitely. Interesting. Zhao Yuchen concentrated on his research. Feeling the sight from behind, Yingying shyly lowered her head and played with her hands, and asked softly, "Master Yuchen, can I take you as my teacher?" The Earth Spider clan can already live a good life, and she is worthy of her promise to her grandpa. But revitalizing the clan is not just about the owner living a good life, but also making a name for himself in the ninja world, such as Sanin and Sharingan Kakashi. So she wants to learn to become a powerful ninja. It's fine as a teacher, I don't accept apprentices. Zhao Yuchen refused straight away, but then continued, "However, if you want to become a ninja, I can ask Master Second Generation to accept you as an apprentice. In return, you can be my assistant at ordinary times." Hey! Yingying was stunned. Shizun and the girls in front of the copy of the diary also froze. To become a disciple of second Hokage Senju Tobarama, no one in the whole ninja world can refuse. Look at the Namikaze Watergate, relying on a flying thunder god technique to ride the ninja world. An impure world reincarnation in Orochimaru has stirred up many troubles. If Yuchen can really do what he says, Yingying should be her assistant, and being a woman is not a loss. But, what is the basis for this guarantee? You know, that is Senju Tobarama. Sarutobi Hiruzen is the only real apprentice in his life. And now, Senju Tobarama can be said to be betrayed deeply by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Will he take fireflies as disciples casually? Master Second Generation, will you be willing? Yingying asked uncertainly. Don't worry, I'll take care of it, Zhao Yuchen said lightly. Yes. Yingying no longer questioned, and asked Zhao Chen to study how to use F*K. Woohoo, take off. I thought it would be so difficult to master Fufation, but it turned out to be so easy to master. But that's right, remember that even Bailong can easily master it, so naturally I'm not a problem. However, it is somewhat difficult to remove this device without hurting Yingying's body. Then wait for Yingying to become my assistant, study slowly, there is plenty of time. Speaking of which, I am still a secretary myself, can I find a secretary? Who said that the secretary of Hokage can also have a secretary? Besides, I am the assistant of Hokage. Speaking of which, the old monkey has cooled down, and it is time for me to consider liberating myself from the Hokage office struggle. Seeing this, Tsunade subconsciously clenched his fists. Planning to slip away from under your own nose? Don't even think about it. Unless Tsunade asks me, I will definitely resign. Anyway, Second Generation is heading back to the village, and as a workaholic, he will definitely be willing to take over. I have a way to get Senju Tobarama to speak for me. Tsunade will definitely not be able to force me to stay, the plan works. This guy. Tsunade said angrily, I won't beg you, absolutely. Speaking of the Second Generation project, I have to say that Hotaru is very talented in ninjas, so high that even Six Tails Jinchuriki was frightened. She learned to tread water in one night, learned water-style ninjutsu water-severing wave in one night, and her adaptability to forbidden technique so good, it shows that you have the talent to learn Sage Mode. Sage Mode, even the Second Generation item can't be mastered. If Hotaru inherits his Sea Escape ninjutsu, with Sage Mode, it will definitely be better than Blue. Wood-style blood succession limit is very strong, but it is not as invincible as Ninja Legend, and the way to open it again is only at the level of Yamato. The really powerful one is actually Senju Hashirama. Chakra, which is much more than the tailed beast, as close to the peak of the Six Paths level, and the combination of wood style can exert the effect of bleeding and elimination, plus the blessing of Sage Mode. The big pillar is properly the sixth path under Six Paths one person. That's why Yingying is very talented and can inherit the ability of Second Generation's purpose very well, making it easy for him to accept disciples. No, how can I ask Senju Tobarama to receive electricity? Senju Tobarama taught the old monkey such a garbage disciple, and Danzo, Utatane Kaharu, they are also half of them, and Akamichi Takakaze and Uchiha Kagami are not bad, but the latter is Uchiha. The slap in the face is very loud. I definitely want to wash away the humiliation in my heart, and the best way is to hand over a new disciple who is excellent enough. I only need to accidentally tell second generation about Hotaru's situation, and he still doesn't take the initiative to accept apprentices? Operate. Senju Tobarama begged me. Plan to pass. It's hard to say whether the ninja dogs raised by the Inuzuka clan look like humans, but you, Zhao Yuchen, are real dogs. For something that seems extremely difficult but actually simple, you want both of you to be grateful to you. Win-win. You mean you, Zhao Yuchen, won twice by yourself? Thank you, Master Yuchen. Yingying suddenly turned her head and smiled sweetly at Zhao Yuchen, with deep gratitude and friendship in her eyes. She also saw the content in the diary, but she didn't think there was anything, but thought Yuchen was very smart. Maybe she is very talented, high enough to make second Hokage Senju Tobarama want to recruit disciples. But without Zhao Yuchen, she would not know that she has such a high ninja talent. Without Zhao Yuchen, Senju Tobarama would not be resurrected, and would not have the opportunity to become her teacher. Zhao Yuchen wins, he deserves it. Yu Rihong. This girl is really pitiful, I was sold, how grateful is this Yuchen. Azuki Shion. It can be seen that she should not have a copy of the diary. Anko. If she had a copy of the diary, she would have already figured out a way to come to Konoha. Kushina. Shizune, let you follow Yuchen, you live broadcast him to pick up girls? Makoto. Even if you are guarding yourself, I will praise you for being courageous and daring to walk in front of Sister Tsunade, and I will praise you for being witty and knowing how to take advantage of opportunities, but you are not as good as a new little sister, I really have nothing to say. Tsunade. Yamanaka Ino. Sister Shizune, I don't ask you to take care of brother Yuchen, you can't do it either, but can you not let our position continue to move back? I don't think Xiao Shi can't get my turn. Terumi Mei. Good men are really in demand. Samui, at Wooden Golem, look at you, you are not as good as a young girl. By Wooden Golem. Hey, this Yingying wants to jump in the queue, at least a few more years, she is destined to be a younger sister. Yi Kang. I'm very curious about what kind of ideas Samui has instilled in you. You decided to be with Yuchen so simply. By Wooden Golem. Nothing, just tell me, asshole. Bastard. What do you mean? By Wooden Golem. I had an illusion with Lu Zhang, and because of the existence of a copy of the diary, I realized that something was wrong. Hearing this, the women were shocked. Because Wooden Golem is a two-tailed Jinchuriki, under normal circumstances, he will not be affected by illusions. Who can do this level? Matabi, wake up. Matabi. Wooden Golem called Matabi's name in his heart, and at the same time interfered with Matabi chakra with his own chakra, trying to wake it up, but no matter what she did, there was no way to succeed. This situation made her heart sink, and she felt a fatal crisis. She looked at the unchanged forest scenery around her, but at this moment she felt that she was looking at a terrifying monster that would choose to eat someone at any time. By Wooden Golem, Samuel, the situation is not right on my side. I guessed right that it should be Uchiha Obito who shot me. Samui. Uchiha Obito. Are you sure? By Wooden Golem. I'm not sure, but I can't get in touch with Matabi, it has been completely under the illusion, and it should be only Uchiha Obito who can do this without me even realizing it. Makoto. No, Itachi has Mangekyo, he can too, but it is enough to show that they shot you. Kushina. By Wooden Golem, where are you now? I will come to rescue you immediately. By Wooden Golem. I'm in the east of the land of waves. Samui. No, what do you do there? Cloud Shinobi Village is located in the northeast of Konoha Village. From there, you will pass through Moon Country, and then go to Tang Country to Fire Country, or go north to Tan Country. A few days ago, Wooden Golem told her that she was already in the land of fire, so why go to the land of waves, which is just east of the land of fire? By Wooden Golem. I'm going to Kirigakure to join in the fun. It turned out that he wanted to show his presence in front of Yuchen. Samui. No wonder you will meet Uchiha Obito and the others. They must be in the land of waves and ready to go to the land of water. Kushina. The land of waves is a bit far away, I should need half an hour to get there, just hold on. Makoto. I will come too. Kurama Yukumo, in fact, everyone can take the vermilion bird mechanism beast, as many people as you want. Tsunade. Then what are you waiting for, go to a few more and take them down. Shizune. Master Tsunade, isn't it faster for us to rush here? The base of the Earth Spider Clan is in the land of fire, just in the direction of the land of waves, bordering on the land of water, Tianhai. Tsunade. But how do you explain it to Mr. Yuchen? Shizune. Well, can you just tell Katsuyu? Tsunade. Well, caring makes chaos, she is stupid. So a group of people decided to let Zhao Yuchen and the others rush to save people. Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Itachi may appear in Nami, which means that Kirigakure is still safe, let alone rush there. But at this time, Wooden Golem suddenly heard Matabi's voice. Wooden Golem, it's Uchiha. How is your situation? What about me? What about you? How did you break free from the Mangekyo illusion? Since Erway Matabi mentioned Uchiha, it means that her guess is correct. It was Uchiha Obito or Uchiha Itachi who shot at her and cast Mangekyo Sharingan level illusion. Not surprisingly, they should be on the way to Kirigakure. They happened to meet her and decided to complete the capture of Erway Jinchuriki. But what she is more puzzled now is how Matabi can break free from the Sharingan illusion. If she remembers correctly, even Nine Tails couldn't stand against Obito when they first opened Mangekyo Sharingan. And now, Uchiha Obito, but with Rinnegan. A powerful chakra appeared out of nowhere to help me break free from the illusion and regain my mobility, but I don't know the specifics. Matabi's gentle voice sounded. Powerful chakra injected out of thin air. Wooden Golem was surprised, but she also knew what was the most important thing at the moment, and said without any delay, leave me alone, let's turn into a tailed beast. Well, I don't want to be carried away by the nasty Uchiha. Matabi sounded with a hint of disgust. The next moment, she completely surrendered her chakra, leaving the two under the control of the Wooden Golem. Boom. Blue chakra erupted from Wooden Golem's body, quickly condensed into substance, and finally turned into a big blue cat with black texture, combined with elegance and haki. After turning into a tailed beast, Wooden Golem's perception and observation ability instantly increased dozens of times, and everything he looked at changed accordingly. I saw that the sky had already become very dark. And standing next to the big tree in front were two figures wearing purple robes. One had obvious wrinkles on the right side of his face, his left eye was bandaged, and the other had a bandage on his right eye, and the exposed one eye was Mangekyo Sharingan, staring at her. Apparently, the two Uchiha cast Mangekyo Sharingan level illusions on her at the same time, causing her and Matabi to fall for it before they knew it. Not Uchiha Obito or Uchiha Itachi, but both. The wind is blowing. A split-second decision by Wooden Golem. Hey. You actually sneaked up on me. Hey. Cats have 9 lives, do you know immune to death? Ow. You wait for me. With 3 menacing roars, Wooden Golem suddenly turned around and ran at an extremely fast speed. Uchiha Obito. Uchiha Itachi, Black Zetsu. How could he break free from our illusion? Uchiha Itachi wondered. He clearly felt that both Wooden Golem and Matabi were controlled by them. As a result, it took 2 breaths for the pair to break free easily. If Orochimaru, who was fixed by him back then, knew this, he would die of shame. Naturally, there are people to help, Obito replied. Who? I don't know, but I can guess. Obito touched the bandage on the left, and said in a deep voice, the illusion that can undo the blessing of Rinnegan didn't let me discover that there should be a part of Zanguo today. Uzumaki Nagato. Why is he here? You can save this question and ask him directly, since he left the Kingdom of Rain, don't even think about going back. Obito injects chakra into the unfused Rinnegan of the left eye. The next moment, a clear picture came to my mind, which was the connection between Rinnegan and Rinnegan. In this position, Obito turned and walked east, in the opposite direction from Wooden Golem. They really want to collect all the tail beasts, but there is no rush to start now. If you can catch it easily, you can catch it, and if you don't have a chance, it's okay to let it go temporarily. Everything is just a matter of time. On the contrary, it is Rinnegan, if it can be recycled, it would be great. Why didn't you follow? The beast-tailed Wooden Golem keenly sensed the situation behind him and paused. By Wooden Golem, do you want to go back? Matabi's gentle voice sounded. I wonder what they're going to do, what about you? Although she is one of the 9 chakra separated from 10 tails by Sage of 6 Paths Otsutsuki Yuya, she also has cat attributes as a cat demon covered in blue chakra flames all over her body. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked such unnecessary questions. Wooden Golem quickly responded and apologized immediately. It's okay, I'm really curious, but I'm afraid of danger, Matabi said frankly. Curiosity killed the cat, shall we not go? Those 2 Uchihas, any one of them is better than us, really shouldn't go. I also feel that if you finally escaped from danger, you shouldn't throw yourself into the trap. They didn't come after them. Maybe they wanted to lure us. I understand this truth. It's what Yu Chen said about playing hard to get. Who is Yu Chen? What does playing hard to get mean, and when did he get married with you? Well, Matabi, I have my own secret. What, you actually have a secret from me? By Wooden Golem. Swish. The fully tailed beast turned from Wooden Golem to the east of the land of waves. Seeing this, Matabi did not stop him. The two behaved very well. Not curious, is it still a cat? Samui. By Wooden Golem, how are you doing now? By Wooden Golem. Don't worry, I don't know who helped me, and I have successfully escaped. Samui. That's good, you run towards the Fire Nation immediately, and strive to reconcile with Yu Chen and the others. Tsunade-ji has already asked Katsuyu to go back to the Shizune forest to follow the process of summoning Shizune. By Wooden Golem. Samui. You are not going to trouble Uchiha Obito with your life, are you? Calm down. Be sure to calm down. By Wooden Golem. Not really, I know myself. Black Soil. I was taken aback, thinking that someone was so desperate. Anko. I agree. Samui. You don't know about Wooden Golem and Matabi. She looks elegant, mature and charming, but in fact she is mischievous, lively and a troublemaker. You spoke too early. Ino. Your description seems to be talking about our cat, who usually looks elegant and aloof, but ends up doing all kinds of small damage behind the scenes, which can drive my mother crazy. Samui. Matabi is famous as a cat, what do you think? So let Wooden Golem tell you the truth, what's going on with you? By Wooden Golem. This, that, I think that Uchiha Obito's departure may be related to the person who saved me and Matabi, so I want to follow up and take a look from afar. Curiosity really killed the cat, okay. At the same time, Feng Lifeng is nearby. Shizune's figure suddenly disappeared, and soon appeared again. Did something happen to Konoha? Zhao Yuchen asked curiously. In Shizune's situation just now, it was obvious that Katsuyu reversed summoning and left, probably because of some news from Tsunade. It was Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Itachi who appeared, said Shizune immediately in the land of waves. Zhao Yuchen frowned. However, without hesitation, he immediately released the perception technique to find Senju Tobarama and Senju Hashirama, and said, "Two Hokage lords, the target has appeared." As he said that, he took out the vermilion bird mechanism beast, dressed Firefly and jumped onto it with her in his arms, and then drove the mechanism beast to take off. Next, please be responsible for her safety. Zhao Yuchen handed Firefly to Shizune. No problem. Shizune nodded. Excuse me, Sister Shizune, thank you for the coincidence. You're welcome, we should be our own people in the future. Shizune smiled meaningfully. At this time, Senju Tobarama used the Flying Thunder God technique and led Senju Hashirama to jump on the organ beast and asked, "Boy Yuchen, what's the matter?" Zhao Yuchen didn't answer, but looked at Shizune. That's right, the two Jinchuriki from Cloud Shinobi Village were active in the land of Nami, and accidentally encountered Uchiha Obito and Itachi. They should be on their way to Kirigakure. A battle broke out between the two engines. Jinchuriki Irway was defeated, and when he fled, he sent a letter to Cloud Shinobi Village, and Cloud Shinobi Village sent a letter to Samui, the envoy of Cloud Shinobi Village who was visiting Konoha, hoping to get Konoha's help, and sent a message to the nearest soldiers. Master Tsunade has granted the request. Hearing this, the expressions of Zhao Yuchen and the three of them became weird. Shizune's words seem reasonable, but they are full of loopholes. The Uchiha family can also be said to be a family that plays with fire. Hokage's fire character is Hashirama because Uchiha is good at fire style, so to deal with Matabi who also play with fire, Obito and Itachi must be good at targeting. And the eyes of the Uchiha clan are very restrained to tailed beasts, reaching the level of Mangekyo Sharingan, and they are even more precise, let alone the level of Itachi and Obito. Plus it's one hit too, is Wooden Golem hitting it with two tails? If she is not seconded, she is considered amazing. Azuki Shion. Looking at the expressions of the three of them, as expected, Mr. Yuchen became suspicious. Anko. Not to mention Mr. Yuchen, second generation has its own doubts. Yuhihong. The adults of first generation seem to be skeptical. Tsunade. You use the word do very cleverly. Black Soil. I think Shodai thinks that Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Itachi are stretching their hips, and there is no room for Wooden Golem. By Wooden Golem. Tsunade. Don't talk nonsense, my grandpa is stupid, not stupid. These two descendants of Madara can't do it. Hashirama scratched his head lightly and said, when Madara and I grabbed Erwei to 8 tails, Erwei couldn't resist Madara's eyes, and they both had Mangekyo Sharingan, and Madara was among them. The Rinnegan can't even take down a Jinchuriki with 2 tails. Senju Tobirama. Zhao Yuchen. Black soil. Let me just say, Shodai must think so. Effect. Sure enough, only Hanhan in this world understands Hanhan better. Since you feel that this matter is unjustifiable, why don't you doubt it and think about it, but simply think that they are not as good as Uchiha Madara? Senju Tobirama asked with his arms crossed, his face speechless. It's normal to be weaker than Madara, Hashirama said seriously. Senju Tobirama suddenly had an expression that I shouldn't have asked more. Zhao Yuchen. Ha ha ha, laughed to death. I used to know that Uchiha Madara is a Hashirama, but I didn't expect that Hashirama is also a Madara. Sure enough, Uzumaki Mito was an accident, the two of you are true love. Tsunade. Suddenly, Zhao Yuchen sensed a flying thunder god on his chest, and nothing changed. He immediately unleashes his chakra. The next moment, he felt that his consciousness traveled through countless distances and landed on a certain big tree, turning into an illusion. This is Rinnegan's ability. It belongs to Heaven's phantom body technique. It can sense the partner's transformation into missing wave, Cha Carla at a specific position, amplify it and show it in the form of phantom in a specific place. Brother-in-law, I just rescued Jinchuriki Erwei from Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Obito, and they are coming towards me, Uzumaki Nagato said. Konan blushed slightly. The corners of Zhao Yuchen's mouth curled up slightly, and he nodded, I'll come right away. Hold on. Zhao Yuchen gave Konan a teasing smile, and the phantom disappeared instantly. Konan's complexion became more and more rosy, and he turned to Nagato and said, Nagato, as I said, I don't have that kind of relationship with him yet. You also said not yet. Instead of saying no, it means that it will happen sooner or later. Uzumaki Nagato added Rinnegan to the left. Sharingan looked at Konan and said seriously, I have known you for many years, do I still not know who you are? For companions, it means him and Yahiko, Konan will never betray, loyal and reliable. For the people, she is like an angel, bringing tenderness and peace. For the organization, she is God's right-hand man, majestic, cold and inviolable. But Nagato knows that Konan is still the woman who longs for peace, loves origami, and hopes to be able to be a husband and a child for a safe life. Since she has a strange attitude towards Yuchen, it means that she will either be alone or be with Yuchen in this life. As a companion, after Nagato recognized Yuchen more and more, he naturally hoped for the latter situation. I want to wonder if you were bought by the 3 Tomo Sharingan he gave you, or the set of historical records, Konan said with a hint of impatience in his tone. She obviously felt that Zhao Yuchen was special because of the copy of the diary. Plus wanting to find a way to revive, Yisan treats Yuchen differently. Of course, thanking the other party for their life-saving grace is the key point. I don't have that kind of thought. Can you make this kind of joke with me without explaining the problem? Nagato asked with a smile. Since he is destined to be my brother-in-law in the future, what's wrong with me being called brother-in-law now? Konan, since you are destined to be with him in the future, you might as well exercise your right to be a girlfriend earlier. Konan took a deep breath, completely giving up his defense. This guy Nagato was really bought by that man. It's also my fault, I didn't deny it immediately. Forget it, it doesn't matter. Wait until Yahiko is resurrected, and Nagato I'll follow Yuchen to bring peace to the ninja world. It's good to rely on Yuchen to realize my dream. Konan seems to accept his fate, but he is actually finding a way for himself. Suddenly, she raised her hand forward, Shua. Many big trees around suddenly turned into papers and flew out, overwhelming the sky and flying forward. Every few sheets were mixed with detonating symbols. Boom. Accompanied by a series of roaring sounds, the scene was suddenly filled with smoke. At the same time, Zhao Yuchen received the message from Missing Wave, and said, it's Nagato and Konan. What? Shizune stole a puzzled look. Why did it suddenly mention Uzumaki Nagato and Konan? It was they who saved Erwei Jinchuriki from Wooden Golem. Zhao Yuchen continued. Nagato and Konan happened to be in the Land of Waves, and when Uchiha Obito and the others were shot by Wooden Golem, they had a telepathy and secretly helped them. Wooden Golem has left now, and Uchiha Obito and the others did not pursue, but are preparing to deal with Nagato, probably to snatch Rinnegan. Nagato contacted me just now and asked me to rush to help. Hearing this, Senju Tobirama nodded and said, So it was Rinnegan who helped. No wonder the Orway Jinchuriki can leave. Why? Ha ha ha. I just said that Madara's Rinnegan won't be that weak. Senju Hashirama suddenly laughed. Everyone. Good guy. Normal people think that Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Itachi are not weak, but your understanding is that Uchiha Madara Rinnegan is not weak. Weakness in co-authorship is the fault of others, and strength lies in Uchiha Madara. This way of thinking is so different that it is scary. What a shame. Inside the main house of the Senju clan, Tsunade let out a long sigh. He chose to ignore it, and said to the women around him, "But this is good news for us." Hearing this, all the girls nodded. Zhao Yuchen had obviously become suspicious before. This time, they were saved by pain. Fortunately, there is Nagato. Zhao Yuchen was also grateful in his heart. Otherwise, such an obvious flaw, I don't doubt that I can't justify it. Now it's logical, it's Nagato after all. As I expected, Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Itachi are responsible for Kirigakure. Depending on the situation, they probably don't know that Orochimaru is dead, which is good news for me. This time I joined hands with Nagato, plus the first generation and second generation projects, there is a chance to keep them completely. But before that, I had to find a way to target Uchiha Obito's Kamui. Unfortunately my constitution is still a bit short, otherwise I can try to open Tensigan, so there is so much trouble. Tensigan. Seeing this news, the hearts of the girls holding the diaries jumped. If I remember correctly, Yuchen mentioned earlier that Tensigan and Rinnegan are at the same level, right? Tsunade subconsciously sat up straight. It's also mentioned that Otsutsuki Kagaya is not turned on. Hyuga Hinata whispered. What is the opening method? Haitu scratched his head. Can't you remember? Anko cast a disgusted look and said, you just need to remember that the sign of the Six Paths class is to master the power of Yin-Yang Dun of creation and destruction, and to master Yin-Yang Dun, you need a fairy eye or sage body. After Uchiha Sharingan evolves to the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan level, it is the power of ultimate Yin escape, plus some ultimate Yang escape power. There is a chance to open the fairy eye, which is Rinnegan. Conversely, the Senju and Uzumaki clan developed the constitution to ultimate, possessing the power of ultimate Yang escape, plus some ultimate Yin escape power, and have the opportunity to open Sage Body and Immortal Eyes. Tensigan and Rinnegan have a glance, and Yuchen now has Otsutsuki constitution, which should be only stronger than Senju or Uzumaki clan. Although Anko usually looks out of character, she was once accepted as a student by Orochimaru. To her surprise, she is actually a top student, not inferior to Haruno Sakura. Understood. Haitu clapped his fists and understood. So, Yuchen has almost developed Otsutsuki constitution to a level comparable to first Hokage. As long as you have a pair of good white eyes, you can open Tensigan. Speaking of this, she was suddenly taken aback. How could Yuchen have rolled his eyes? Female. So that's why we were shocked at first, and you don't realize it until now. Tsunade felt that Kuroto was more suitable to be Senju Hashirama's granddaughter than her. Speaking of which, Kuroto's hair color matches Hashirama better. It should be the diary reward. Hyuga Hinata thought. Sure enough, he's the one who cheated. Samui sighed, it's not been half a month since I wrote the diary, and it's almost 6 paths level. Thank God for my husband. Kurama Yakumo clasped his hands together and thanked him sincerely. Well, as expected of my man, he is excellent. Kushina was proud. Which men are not the same? Makoto chuckled. Female. Have been offended. Boom. All the women marveled at the rapid rise in Zhao Yuchen's strength. The smoke and dust cleared from Uzumaki Nagato, revealing a huge red super chakra skeleton. Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Obito were among them. Itachi said indifferently, Uzumaki Nagato, why do you have a Sharingan? People of the Uchiha family, he can kill, but others can't, that is the glory of Uchiha. Obito, return Rinnegan. Nagato sits in a huge wheelchair, hands knotted. 6 statues of pain descended from the sky and surrounded the king and the weasel. As for Uchiha Itachi, he chooses to ignore it after clearly knowing its past. A problem child who is fooled by the phrase, you have Hokage thinking, who can raise a butcher's knife against his own family, even the old and weak, women and children, is not worthy of talking to him who has lofty ideals. Uchiha Itachi's eyes grew colder. After being cut off by Yuchen and forced by Obito to hand over one of Uchiha Fugaku's eyes, the dark side in his heart also began to magnify. Return. Uchiha Obito took the back flame fan in his hand, indifferently. If you want to return it, you will return it to me, these are not your eyes. Give me the eyes that Uchiha Madara gave me, and that's mine, Nagato retorted. Hearing this, Uchiha Obito felt like laughing. Since when did Uzumaki Nagato say such a bad joke? At this moment, a figure rose from the ground beside him and said, Obito, he is delaying time. Delaying time? Orochimaru is dead, and the people from Sleepy Leaf are coming here, Ju said. That trash. Obito's face turned livid. Let Orochimaru team up with the 4 hidden villages to deal with Konoha. No matter whether Konoha can support it, the 4th war will definitely start, and it will be impossible for the hidden villages to join forces to deal with foreign enemies. And during this period, he has plenty of time to adapt his body and Rinnegan, as well as prepare for the evolution of Mangekyo Sharingan, which will increase his strength. When everything is ready, he will devour 3 tails and 6 tails first in Kirigakure, and there are enough opportunities to attack other Jinchuriki in the war, so he doesn't care about letting go by Wooden Golem just now. He wasn't ready yet. But this perfect plan was disintegrated before the first step was taken. Walk. Obito was not in a hurry to inquire, and turned around to leave. But at this moment, a figure suddenly appeared beside him behind Uchiha Itachi, accompanied by a familiar ear-piercing roll. Rasengan. Not good. God Luo Tien sign. Obito is like a frightened bird, and instinctively casts his ultimate move. Boom. Juehei Uchiha Itachi was instantly sent flying. Uchiha Itachi was the worst, as Susanoo was shattered from the inside, exacerbating his still-recovered injuries. Yu Chen was the least injured, but a shadow clone was destroyed and turned into smoke. Hateful. Uchiha Obito, who realized he was being tricked, was furious. But after sensing the appearance of several huge chakra, he directly uses Kamui. With so many powerful beings around, it is impossible for him to take Rinnegan, and it is useless to keep more. Shua. He first appeared next to Black Zetsu, sucking people into the Kamui space. Immediately afterwards, he used Kamui to come to Uchiha Itachi's side again, but found that there was a trace of being hit by Rasengan on the back, and Zhao Yuchen stepped on his back with 1 foot. Obito. Zhao Yuchen raised his right hand and rubbed out a ball. Want to come? Yuchen. You will die, you must die. The enemy was extremely jealous when they met, not to mention that Yuchen even snatched Nohara Rin's body in front of Obito. To be honest, as long as there is more than 50% certainty that Yuchen can be killed, farmland will immediately take action. But now, he knows that Yuchen is not easy, and the Flying Thunder God technique alone can't find a way to restrain it, so he can only endure it. Temporary endurance is nothing to him. Shua. A kunai suddenly appeared, passed through Obito's Rinnegan and fell to the ground. Obito's body disappeared into Uzumaki without staying. Tell me what happened to the round body. Uchiha Obito looked at Ju with a gloomy expression. His plan is not perfect, but as long as it is carried out, there will be gains. But now it failed at the first step, and lost Orochimaru, an ally, and Uchiha Itachi. He wants to know what the problem is. I'll tell you the information I've collected now, and you can analyze it yourself. Black Zetsu was also very angry in his heart, but he still held back and said, it is suspected that 4th Kazekage Rosa sent a letter to Sarutobi Hiruzen in advance, and Konoha discovered that Orochimaru secretly contacted the Major Shadows. Under the impetus of Hokage's assistant Yuchen, Konoha formulated a plan to catch snakes and sent an elite team to siege Orochimaru. The members of this team are: Yukura was captured by Orochimaru Impure World reincarnation and seems to be able to sense each other. Yuchen created the flying puppet and led people to launch a surprise attack, so I didn't notice it immediately. Orochimaru Impure World Reincarnation 3rd Raikage, Golden Horn Silver Horn, Danzo, Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama, the 2 sides fought a big battle. Yuchen got the 6 Paths ninja tool from nowhere, and easily solved the Golden Horn and Silver Horn. It is suspected that Yuchen has mastered the Impure World Reincarnation, rewritten the talismans in the minds of 3rd Raikage I, Senju Tobirama and Senju Hashirama, and broke free from the shackles of Orochimaru. Yuchen finally forced Sarutobi Hiruzen to use the Ghoul Seal to die with Orochimaru, and took Danzo's soul away. Orochimaru's body is sealed by Rishisho. Black Zetsu told all the information he had investigated, as well as some doubts he had. After listening to Uchiha Obito, he found that it can be simply summed up in 2 words. Yuchen. Whether it is dealing with Orochimaru, it is good to use Duan Yi, or to capture Itachi now, and let Uzumaki Nagato keep a Rinnegan and solve the unstable factors in Akatsuki's organization, all of which are controlled by Yuchen. Change my eyes. When I awaken the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan with Uchiha Fugaku's eyes, and then completely control the Rinnegan and Wood-style blood succession limits, it will be the death of Yuzai. Only by killing him can my plan proceed smoothly. Uchiha Obito makes a decision. Hearing this, if you didn't refuse, you immediately expressed your cooperation. But he has already decided in his heart to find a way to revive Uchiha Madara after solving this matter. Obito is really useless, and Madara is better. At the same time, within the territory of the Kingdom of Waves. Despair. Senju Tobirama appears next to Kunai passing through Obito's body. The perception cannot catch Obito's chakra, he sighed. This Kamui is indeed a bit powerful. Not only can he freely enter and exit different spaces, but he can also transfer any part of his body to different spaces to avoid attacks without any influence on himself. The body is a whole. If a normal person suddenly loses a certain part of the body, it will affect himself. As expected of Senju Tobirama, some of the effects and usage of Kamui can be seen at a glance. It's a pity that Kamui's ability can't be limited if it is not prepared in advance. Pity. Uzumaki Nagato let go of Jiin's hands, and said with disappointment, if Ju appears in a while, I can complete the arrangement of the 5 seals. The 5-seal barrier that limits physical changes and damage is Kamui's nemesis. He was stalling for time. On the one hand, he was waiting for Yu Chen to arrive, and on the other hand, he wanted to set up a barrier. It was also a complete accident to meet Uchiha Obito in the Land of Waves this time, otherwise he would definitely have made arrangements in advance. It doesn't matter. At least we didn't get nothing at all. Zhao Yuchen looked at Uchiha Itachi at his feet. To be honest, he didn't expect to be so idle dealing with Itachi. Susanoo is an absolute defense, not a common Rasengan can break. At that time, he just wanted to try a sneak attack, but he didn't expect that Obito would directly use the god Luo Tien to defend like a frightened bird, destroying Susanoo from the inside before Itachi had no time to react. Itachi was originally injured, and now the situation has become even worse. But for them, it was a surprise. Of course, the greatest credit is still the Flying Thunder God imprint he left on Itachi's body. When you broke my arm in the Kamui space, you took the opportunity to leave the mark of Flying Thunder God. Itachi coughed and spit out a mouthful of blood, mixed with several broken organs. If you didn't want to snatch Nohara Lin's body, you would have died at that time, Zhao Yuchen said flatly. Really? You won after all. Uchiha Itachi closed his eyes, resigned to his fate and said, do it, avenge Uchiha's clansmen, and die at your hands, and I deserve to die. As soon as this remark came out, Senju Tobirama's expression changed slightly, and he looked at Zhao Yuchen seriously. Zhao Yuchen exerted a sudden force on his feet, causing Itachi to bleed out another mouthful of blood. Immediately, he sneered and said, with your wisdom, you have already guessed that I am not Uchiha. Don't try to use cleverness to provoke the relationship between me and second generation. Hearing this, Itachi endured the pain and said, if you are not Uchiha, why do you have Sharingan? Is it strange to have a Sharingan? Zhao Yuchen said lightly, it's just the power inherited from the 10 Tails sacred tree. In theory, the direct descendants of the Sage of 6 Paths can open it. In terms of the limit of blood successors, the eye-opening conditions of the Senju clan not inferior to Uchiha, but being suppressed by the huge Yongdun chakra, it is more difficult to open eyes than ordinary people. Uchiha inherits the advantages of chakra, a huge yin escape, plus the shortcut of emotional stimulation to open eyes, so it is easy to open eyes. One hit 7, don't be too arrogant, Uchiha glory you twisted value, but that's it. Why? Hearing this, Itachi fell silent for a moment and stopped talking. Senju Tobirama showed a thoughtful expression. Senju Hashirama's eyes lit up and said, Yuchen boy, you mean I have the opportunity to open Sharingan? Theory, it's just a theory. Zhao Yuchen curled his lips and said, in first generation, the chance of you wanting to activate Sharingan on your own should be the last in the Quanin world. Why? Hashirama's expression changed, he still wanted to open Sharingan to play before Madara was revived. Your Yang escape power is too strong, so strong that you can't use your Yin escape power at all. It's impossible to stimulate your eyes. Zhao Yuchen shook his head and said, however, if you have the blood of Sage of 6 Paths in your body, if you transplant 3 Tomo Sharingan, you can easily control it, turn it off and turn it on. Even Rinnegan, you can control it after long enough, because it comes from the same source. Okay, as long as I have 3-pointed jade. Hashirama stretched out his hand to hook Yuchen's arm, and grinned. We have agreed, when the time comes, you have to transplant a pair of three-pointed jade for me. Maybe I can also have Rinnegan, and give Madara a surprise then. Hashirama's words are really not nonsense. To some extent, he is highly identical to the Otsutsuki Yuya of that year, except for the inherited power of the sacred tree. Regardless of whether the Otsutsuki Yuya in this world is a born Rinnegan, or he practiced celestial art to kill Yukin and then stimulated Sanguyu to drive to Rinnegan, it shows that Mangekyo Sharingan is not a necessary process. There is also Otsutsuki Toneri, who is completely incomparable to Otsutsuki Hamura, but being able to activate Tensigan after transplanting Hanabi Kamen's white eyes can also explain the problem. The Eye of Spiritual Reflection, Mangekyo, is a further development of Sharingan. Awakening is the exclusive pupil technique, but it can also be directly awakened into Rinnegan. The ability depends on the fruit of 10 tails. Only with the power of 6 paths, or 10 tails God tree power. The Otsutsuki family, after possessing 6 paths level strength, still maintains the superciliousness that has been developed to the corresponding Mangekyo Sharingan level. It may not be that they cannot have Tensigan, but they value functionality. After all, if you swallow the fruit, you can have a Rinnegan similar to Tensigan, or even a more powerful Go-Yu Rinnegan. Keeping the white eyes may be more useful than Tensigan. Because of Hashirama's little interruption, Yu Chen suddenly thought of many things. He felt that after he opened Tensigan, if he could open Guyu Rinnegan, he could change the direction of evolution. But thinking about this now, it's still a little far away for the time being. He withdrew his thoughts, looked at Uchiha Itachi and said, "Then how should I deal with you?" "That goes without saying. Of course it is to kill directly." Uzumaki Nagato moved forward and said, "Brother-in-law, let me do it. This kind of person is not worthy of dirtying your hands." Now everyone was stunned, and then they brushed Konan beside Nagato. Konan pretended to be aloof on the surface, but in his heart he wanted to give Nagato a blow. This time, her identity was confirmed to the point that it could no longer be confirmed. Yu Ri Hong. As expected of Mr. Yu Chen, he is not idle outside. Fragrant phosphorus. It must have taken down Sister Konan when I saved my mother last time, really amazing. Ino. You made me almost unable to speak, but this sister looks like a unique charm. Terumi Mei. We haven't even settled down in Konoha village yet, so we go out and mess around. Mr. Yu Chen is awesome. Samui. By Wooden Golem, look at them. By Wooden Golem. My side can arrive right away, start building relationships right away. Tsunade. I still don't understand how Samui brainwashed you. By Wooden Golem. Where do you need brainwashing? I am excellent by Wooden Golem. Of course, I want to find the man with the highest comprehensive qualifications in the entire ninja world. Can anyone surpass Yu Chen? Sam Yi. The appearance is the first rank, the strength will definitely stand above everyone, and you can make money, and you are generous to the woman you have a relationship with, but not to other women. Yu Chen is a well-deserved number 1. By Wooden Golem. Unless what you long for is a long-term love, can you guarantee yourself and the other side will never change your mind? By Wooden Golem, also said you are not brainwashed. But you say so, there is really no other choice. It's nothing to let you kill. Seeing that Konan did not refute, Yu Chen was more happy to see the result, and smiled at Nagato. But I don't remember that there is not such a big hatred between you and Itachi. Not before, but after I read the historical records, I must have him. Huh. Yu Chen was taken aback. He reminds me of Hu Hai. Nagato said angrily with an angry look on his face, the first emperor, the survivors of the 6th generation, unified the 6 kingdoms, scaled the scales, moved cars on the same track, unified the position, and conquered such a large territory. What a majestic strategy. As a result, Hu Hai, the prodigal son, came to power and died directly in the 2nd generation. He raised a butcher's knife against his brothers and sisters, and he was inhuman. Itachi is similar to Hu Hai. I want to kill and pay homage to Shiwang. Zhao Yuchen. Ah, Nagato read Shiji and became a Zhengao fanatic. There were a lot of thoughts in his mind, but Zhao Yuchen decided not to say anything. It is normal for anyone to worship Zheng Ji's personality charm and imperial charm, not to mention that some of Uzumaki Nagato's ideas are the same as Zheng Ji's approach, and he is like his predecessor. And for all the fans who adore Zheng Ji, who is not happy? For example, Zhao Yuchen himself is the same. But unfortunately, I can't agree to your request. Zhao Yuchen thought for a while. Why? Just killing Uchiha Itachi is too wasteful. I decided to use him as waste. Zhao Yuchen's eyes lit up. He has a very bold, but absolutely feasible idea. If it can be realized, it will bring earth-shaking changes to the entire ninja world. Peaceful reunification, world progress, and the fight against Otsutsuki will all make leaps and bounds quickly. Waste utilization? Nagato glanced at Uchiha Itachi, wondering, what else can he use? In his opinion, Uchiha Itachi might also be useful with the double Mangekyo Sharingan. But according to Yu Chen, Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan is almost blind, and there are only two ways to restore it. One is to replace it with the master of the level of Senju Hashirama, and the other is to leave the future to Uchiha Sasuke to help the latter awaken the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Either way, it has nothing to do with common people. Zhao Yu Chen pointed to Nagato's right eye, which is Rinnegan. I want you to deliver this Rinnegan to Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi raised his head suddenly and was the first to be stunned. If it wasn't for his current body being precisely controlled by Zhao Yu Chen with strange power and terrifying chakra, he wouldn't be able to do anything, and he would even think that he had cast illusions on Yu Chen. What's the weird idea of giving him a Rinnegan? If he had a Rinnegan, even if it was just a single one, Yu Chen might be able to kill him now, but he would definitely not be able to control him anymore. Like Uchiha Itachi, there are Senju Hashirama, Shizune and Tsunade who are equally puzzled. But they understand that Zhao Yu Chen must have his own considerations, not acting recklessly. Brother-in-law, what do you mean? Uzumaki Nagato wondered. He was sure that Yu Chen would not be malicious towards him, otherwise he would just let Obito steal his eyes. But he couldn't figure out Bai Yu Chen's intention. On the contrary, Konan muttered, carrying several times, his eyes lit up and said, "You want Uchiha Itachi to perform Rinne Tensai technique." Bingo. Yu Chen snapped his fingers, pointed at Konan and smiled, "Miss Nan is so smart, that's what I thought." Rinne Tensai technique, is it the ninjutsu that can bring people back to life? Senju Tobarama suddenly interrupted and asked. Looking at his expression, it was obvious that he had guessed Yu Chen's real intention in advance. That's right. Zhao Yu Chen nodded and said, Rinne Tensai technique. The full name is the Outsider Rinne Tensai technique. After casting, you can summon the King of Hell, let the King of Hell stand up and open his mouth, release countless souls of the dead, and return the souls to the corpses of the dead, to resurrect the dead. This technique is at the cost of the caster's life. The longer the resurrected object is dead, and the more people are resurrected, the more chakra will be needed. If the resurrection object is an impure world reincarnation person, the impure world reincarnation status will be cancelled automatically, and the body will be regenerated. But using Rinnegan to cast Rinne Tensai technique, although there is no limit on the number of resurrections, the cost is only the life of the caster, but not everyone can control it. Hearing this, Senju Tobarama nodded and said, I have done research, and although common people can use Sharingan and Beian, they can't operate freely. They consume chakra all the time, and their overall strength is not as good as before. As a fairy eye, Rinnegan will only have stronger side effects. Common people may not be able to use it at all, and may even suffer backlash, depleting vitality and leading to early death. Madara put Rinnegan on Uzumaki Nagato, which shows that the descendants of Sage of Six Paths can barely carry this power, but the burden is also huge. Uchiha Itachi can activate Mangekyo Sharingan, and is absolutely qualified to use Rinnegan to activate Rinne Tensai technique. However, although the Uchiha family has more chakra than ordinary ninjas, it is nothing compared to Ganshu and Uzumaki. His chakra cannot be used at the same time. Resurrect too many people. But we don't need to revive a lot of people. Uzumaki Nagato said with bright eyes. We only need to revive some of the people we cherish. Uchiha Itachi's chakra is enough. Karama Yakumo. Enough. In short, resurrecting my father and mother will definitely not be a problem, and my husband will be more harmful. Terumi Mei. Rinne Tensai technique. Look, Mr. Yu Chen really took out the resurrection technique casually. Tsunade. Nawaki, there are some tribesmen who were trapped by the old monkey. I seem to be a little greedy. Yu Rihong. My parents. Azuki Shion. My parents. Uzumaki Kashina. My former tribe. Makoto. Yes, the people killed by Itachi should be exchanged with his own life. Tamari. Mother. Hyuga Hinata. My mother and Hizashi uncle also. Samui. I can't even keep calm. Who doesn't want to be resurrected these days? At this moment, all the girls who heard Yu Chen's words could not keep calm. The resurrection is just around the corner, and some old friends may be resurrected as long as Yu Chen nods, who can't be tempted. Please, as long as you can revive Nawaki. Tsunade's eyes gradually became firm. Deciding to be a Zhao Yuchen woman is not difficult, after all, Yuchen is so excellent, she is too old to earn money. But begging for help, she has never done it in her life, she needs to let go of her proud dignity. If I ask, brother Yuchen will definitely agree. But I still can't repay him now. In her own hot spring, Hinata, who was taking a bath, stood up and lowered her head, looking at her body. For the first time she disliked her growing up slowly. How can it be enough to cook only for brother Yuchen? As expected of my husband, that's great. Kurama Yukumo rolled around on the bed, feeling very happy. A good husband has everything, and her father and mother will be resurrected soon. Father, mother, Tianping. Shi Hahong came to the hall, looked at the family portrait of three on the tea table. The color of reminiscence appeared in Red's eyes, and finally turned into firmness. Smelly man, let's see if you can hold back. If you can't help it, you will be blamed for using the calendar too much. At the same time, in the post house, Terumi Mei came to the mirror in pajamas and looked into her eyes. She thought of the blood ninjas who were persecuted because of the blood mist policy in the past. She thought of her comrades who died on her own because the village assessment was too cold-blooded. She felt that she was more greedy than anyone else. But at the same time, she felt that she was more tolerant of Tien than anyone else. If possible, I will repay Kirigakure for raising and nurturing them by resurrecting them. Fifth Mizukage, I'm not interested. Such a good man, who can miss it? At this moment, the thoughts of all the women coincided with each other. They don't want to miss this resurrection, but they don't want to take advantage of Yuchen, or owe Yuchen too much. Then being his woman and repaying it with a lifetime seems like a good spin. And being with Yuchen, how could I have made money? Therefore, choosing Yuchen is a win-win situation. But this time, they won twice. But I think there is a loophole in your plan. When the girls were full of thoughts, Senju Tobarama's voice came from the diary, forcing them to calm down. Loophole? What kind of loophole? Hotaru stood beside Yuchen and subconsciously asked while clutching her chest. She was also wondering whether to ask Yuchen to help revive her grandfather and parents. Although grandpa died of old age, there are still too many regrets left. Her parents died in the war, and she died when she was very young. I heard from my grandfather that he loved her very much. But according to Senju Tobarama, it seems that resurrection is not that simple. After he gets Rinnegan, will he be obedient? Senju Tobarama pointed at Uchiha Itachi under Yuchen's feet. For the evil Uchiha, he always carries question marks and fear. The genius who started Mangekyo Sharingan at the age of 13, even Uchiha Madara can't match it. With Rinnegan, who knows how dangerous he could be? Yeah, will I? Uchiha Itachi said quietly. I said I will cooperate, I want to atone for my crime, I don't know if you believe it or not. I was still a little fanciful at first, but I couldn't believe it at all when I heard what he said. Uchiha Itachi, very understanding. Why do you want him to be obedient? We just borrowed him as a tool. Zhao Yuchen said with a smile. Black Zetsu is the embodiment of Kaguya's will, and he has some powerful and special ninjutsu, such as being able to possess and forcibly control others. The strength of this control, even Uchiha Obito can't resist, and he has wood-style blood successor boundary, Rinnegan and Mangekyo Sharingan, which is more than a star and a half stronger than Uchiha Itachi. Because of some things, I will have a way to get Black Zetsu to do things for me when the time comes. Of course, just in case, this matter can be done after I awaken Tensigan. Tensigan? Senju Tobarama asked curiously, what kind of eyes are these? It's a long story, but when it comes to the younger brother of Sage of Six Paths. Zhao Yuchen briefly introduced Otsutsuki Hamura to Senju Tobarama, and also mentioned Otsutsuki Kagaya and the alien race Otsutsuki family by the way. Tensigan, the same level as Rinnegan, Otsutsuki constitution combined with supercilious. After listening to Yuchen's narration, Senju Tobarama fell into deep thought with an enlightened expression. Senju Hashirama asked Yuchen excitedly, so Madara thought of a way to achieve peace. Infinite Tsukuyomi? That's right. Yuchen nodded. Ha ha ha. Senju Hashirama laughed loudly. It turns out that this ninjutsu is used to revive Otsutsuki Kagaya, who has created White Zetsu, which is basically a murderous ninjutsu around the world. It's embarrassing that Madara was duped by Black Zetsu. When he comes back to life, I will definitely laugh at him. Hearing this, everyone fell into a long silence, even Yuchen was no exception. Madara has a bad friend at the level of Senju Hashirama, but he can't fight, so it seems that it is not incomprehensible that he will become black. After a while, Senju Tobarama raised his head and asked Yu Chen. From what you mean, it seems that you are sure that you will have Tensigen soon. That's right. Zhao Yu Chen nodded. Speaking of which, he wants to say that he was lucky today, and the diary bonus program he got in the early hours of the morning is very good. New day, diary rewards will be issued. Reward 1. 1 card chuck. Reward 2. Randomly selected as Scorch-style Fire Lotus Killer. Reward 3. Crit reward for writing a diary for 15 consecutive days, randomly selected as Lunar Meteorite, 6 Paths Level Natural Chakra Crystal. Previously in Fenglifang, when Yu Chen was researching the forbidden technique behind Yingying, the 0 o'clock had passed, and the rewards were issued on time. In addition to getting a card of chakra, which is nothing to him now, he also got a special ninjutsu matching Scorch style, which can create a red fire lotus throne, which will detonate and turn into high-temperature water vapor when it touches an object, which is enough to corrode people. Of course, the real precious thing is the lunar meteorite, although it is not as good as the Otsutsuki Constitution obtained 8 days ago, but it still surprises Yu Chen. The real name of this lunar meteorite is the 6 Paths Level Natural Chakra Crystal, and its birth has a lot to do with the Sage of 6 Paths. At that time, Sage of 6 Paths Otsutsuki Yuya and his younger brother Hamura used the 6 Paths level planetary devastation to create a moon above the ninja world, which was enough to seal Otsutsuki Kagaya. Although this moon is mostly made up of the Earth's soil, it also contains the power of 10 tails, as well as the 6 Paths Power Kings of the two brothers Yuya and Hamura. Most of the moon's soil is very common in color, but there are also some stones that have been upgraded, which can absorb and store chakra, which is the composition of Greer's ore. Jirel ore is a mysterious ore that can store chakra, devour natural chakra and turn it into crystallization. If a person installs it on himself, he can awaken a special orc form. Ancient people used this ore to build a huge super civilization, but I know where is there a complete vein. About more than 200 years ago, the descendants of Otsutsuki Hamura on the moon were divided into 2 factions because of different understandings and interpretations of their ancestors' last words. All gone. At that time, a special meteorite flew out of the moon and fell into a ninja village in the country of bears. The village leader got it and found that the meteorite was radioactive and reacted to chakra, so he practiced around it and created a peacock magic method, which can make chakra transforms into various shapes to attack and even fly. However, this meteorite has irreversible side effects on the human body, resulting in a lot of young and strong people in Star Ninja Village, but most of them die young. However, for me, this is the greatest tonic, which allows me to develop Otsutsuki Constitution to the top level in a short period of time, and then fuse the white eyes to give birth to Tensigen. The meteorite obtained by Zhao Yu Chen is exactly the same kind as the star meteorite owned by Star Ninja Village. The so-called radioactivity of meteorites is actually the natural chakra with the nature of Greer. Those strong human beings recognized by the toad of Mount Myoboku are at risk of turning into stone frogs when they practice sage mode, let alone the unstructured surrounding practice of Hoshi Ninja Village. It turns out that the origin of the stars is like this. No wonder it has such a powerful force. But common people are not blessed at all. I ran out with the help of that strong lord back then, and it really was the right choice. I am not a traitor of Star Ninja Village, not a sinner, I saved everyone. In a hidden place in the land of winds, a beautiful woman with red hair and a beautiful appearance was crying with joy while holding a copy of the diary, as if she wanted to vent her great grievances. She used to be a rare genius in Star Ninja Village. She practiced the peacock magic art to ultimate when she was a minor, and she was already an elite jonin in the village when she was just an adult, and she was the grandmaster of many peacock magic art. At that time, someone from the same village pursued her, but she did not refuse because she was very worried about the threat of stars to the human body. At this moment, a mysterious person appeared, saying that he could help her, and took her to successfully steal the star, to escape from Star Ninja Village and hide in this ruin located in the Kingdom of Wind. The mysterious strong man asked her to take care of the star in this ruins, and take care of a sleeping beauty who also had red hair, a 6-year-old girl, 10 red-haired girls who were also 12 years old. Friend. When she wanted to ask something, the man told him that he would meet again in 16 years, and then suddenly disappeared. Fortunately, there are 2 people accompanying her, so that she has someone to communicate with, so that she won't be bored in this ruins. That mysterious person, is it you? After the woman cried, she stared blankly at the words Zhao Yu Chen on the cover of the copy of the diary. At the same time, somewhere above the sea, a huge warship was inside. He really knows the Greer ore very well, and he also knows a vein. Camilla almost cried out in excitement. The country where she is located has obtained some ways to use Greer ore, but there are not many Greer ores on their continent, so only a very small number of people are eligible to use it. If a mine lode is mastered, the strength of the entire country and their fleet will skyrocket. No, if this person uses the Greer ore, it will be even more difficult for us to occupy that mysterious continent. I'm not only going to be an advance force, but I'm going ahead of schedule now. Camilla set off to find her leader, Hyde, and was going to take 2 more sisters with her. That Yu Chen looked very powerful, and she was afraid that she would not be able to deal with it alone. Zhao Yu Chen et al. Did not know about these episodes. Senju Tobarama stopped talking after seeing Zhao Yu Chen's confession, knowing that this involved private secrets, so he didn't ask any more questions, and instead asked, "Since you are sure that you can control him, then everything is naturally no problem. However, I suggest that this matter must be kept secret, otherwise even if my brother and I are resurrected, Konoha will be very dangerous." Resurrection, 2 words full of infinite temptation. In the entire ninja world, there are many people who have regrets, and there are countless people who want to be resurrected. Among these people, there will be a high-ranking person, aristocrats and wealthy businessmen, hidden powerhouses, high-level leaders of major ninja villages, and even many people inside Konoha village. If they knew that Yu Chen had mastered the method of resurrection, it would be hard to imagine what they would do, and even join together to form an irreversible torrent. Therefore, this matter must be kept as secret as possible, and only a few people will know. Secret. Zhao Yu Chen shook his head with a smile and said, "On the contrary, we will take the initiative to publicize this matter when the time comes." "What do you want to do?" Senju Tobarama stared. "Of course it is to win people's hearts and gain benefits." Zhao Yu Chen said bluntly. "Everyone is innocent, but pregnant is guilty, which means. But that's because the person carrying Bai doesn't have the power to protect him, and I don't mention the upcoming awakening of Tensigan, just now I have a lot of cards." As he said that, Zhao Yu Chen pointed at Yingying, and continued, "For example, the forbidden technique is so angry that if you save it for half an hour, any ninja village or town in the ninja world can be turned into ruins. If anyone dares to threaten me, reach out to me, I don't mind taking Yingying to their territory. I have absolute strength so that others cannot force me. Anyone who wants to be resurrected must pay the price. Although there is only one Uchiha Itachi, there is not only one chance to be resurrected. After showing it once, I believe many people will make the right choice. If no one is burdened with snatching something from him, then he can only be moved by benefits. In his hands, the resurrection is a very expensive monopoly commodity. If you can't pay the price, find a way to make up for it." Clever. After understanding Yu Chen's thoughts, Senju Tobarama couldn't help but think of the economic warfare lesson he just taught himself. When resurrection becomes an indispensable resource and only in Yu Chen's hands, he can impose sanctions. "I'm just standing on the shoulders of Titan," Zhao Yu Chen said modestly. Although, Senju Tobarama they don't understand at all. From this point of view, Uchiha Itachi is a commodity, and it would be a waste to kill it directly. Nagato's eyes were filled with anticipation. When Yu Chen awakens Tensigan, it is when Uchiha Itachi casts Rinne Tensai technique, and Yahiko will return from the Pure Land at that time. "My Rinnegan, should I hand it over to you now?" Uzumaki Nagato asked very directly. He can trust his own brother-in-law, but his performance moved Senju Tobarama and others. This is the fairy eye, although not anyone can control it, but it must be coveted by countless people. Unexpectedly, Uzumaki Nagato was so calm in the face. "You keep it for now, that guy Uchiha Obito may come to trouble you at any time." Zhao Yu Chen refused without thinking, and then said, "But after you are resurrected, I suggest you change to a pair of 3 Tomo Sharingan, don't use the Rinnegan." "Me? Resurrection?" Nagato wondered if Yu Chen said something wrong. "That's right, resurrection." Yu Chen stretched out his hand to pat the huge Rinnegan, and said with a smile, "When the time comes, you will die first, and then I will use impure world reincarnation to resurrect you. You can use the power of Rinnegan to starve Kido to swallow chakra, and your body will recover into a state of health. When you revive through the Rinne Tensai technique, the Rinnegan from the dirt will be shattered, and I will transplant a pair of 3 Tomo Sharingan for you. You have adapted to Rinnegan for more than 20 years, and the Uzumaki clan constitution has developed to a very high level under the burden. At that time, you will definitely be able to adapt to 3 Tomo Sharingan, and you will have the opportunity to awaken Sage Body and your own Rinnegan." For his loyal follower, Yu Chen will of course help plan. In his vision, the 6 Paths class is just the starting strength of those around him. Okay. Everything is arranged by brother-in-law. Nagato could hear the sincerity in Yu Chen's words, and he couldn't find any logical problems in what he said. The only thing to worry about was that he needed to die first. But still the same sentence, if Yu Chen wants to get Rinnegan and kill him, there are plenty of opportunities, and there is no need to make such a big circle. Yu Chen patted Nagato on the shoulder, then squatted down and directly dug out Uchiha Itachi's left eye, and put it into a sealing scroll. Then he took off the bandage on Itachi's right eye and prepared to remove the right eye. But after seeing the condition of Uchiha Itachi's right eye, Yu Chen paused and said in surprise, "This is not your Mangekyo Sharingan. Are you evolving Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan? Don't you know a lot of things? Why don't you guess who this eye of mine belongs to?" Seeing the surprised look on Yu Chen's face, Uchiha Itachi, who closed his left eye tightly, smiled, showing a slightly ferocious look with bloodstains. Zhao Yu Chen raised his eyebrows and sneered. "You think I don't know? Isn't it Uchiha Fugaku's Mangekyo Sharingan?" "You know?" Uchiha Itachi's smile froze. Uchiha Fugaku owns the Mangekyo Sharingan and only told him about it. Uchiha Obito would know, it was he who volunteered for some purpose. How could Yu Chen know, and where did he know? "Where did I know? It doesn't matter. Thank you for giving me an extra Mangekyo Sharingan." Zhao Yu Chen took out 2 sealing scrolls again, took out 2 test tubes from them, then buckled Uchiha Fugaku's Mangekyo Sharingan from Uchiha Itachi's eyes, put it into one of the test tubes and sealed it, then spread his hands and said, "Take your other Mangekyo Sharingan, give it to me." "Do you think I will agree?" Uchiha Itachi said indifferently. "If you don't agree, I will kill Uchiha Sasuke when I return to the village," Zhao Yu Chen threatened. "Everyone. Sasuke regards you as his own brother, but you keep saying you want to kill someone. I'm afraid there is something wrong with Uchiha." Uchiha Itachi was silent for a long time, and then said, "He is a member of Konoha, you will not attack Wuwei villagers. So you want to bet on whether I am a person who follows the rules?" Zhao Yu Chen sneered. "You win the bet, but leave a Mangekyo Sharingan, but you lose the bet, but you will die. Dearest brother, do you really want to bet?" For the record, Uchiha Itachi, the big filial son, actually played psychological warfare with me. Ridiculous. I know his whole cards clearly, how could he beat me? Speaking of which, I thought that Uchiha Fugaku should have no Mangekyo Sharingan like the manga, but I didn't expect to have it like the anime, which made me laugh. If Uchiha Fugaku does not have Mangekyo Sharingan, he has abnormal trust in Uchiha Itachi, the son of Mangekyo Sharingan, and entrusts Uchiha's future and Sasuke foolishly. I can barely understand. After all, according to the brain circuit of normal people, even Uchiha Itachi would stand on the side of the high-level Konoha and slaughter his own people. It is incredible. He is the pride of the Uchiha clan and the future patriarch. He grew up eating Uchiha and received Uchiha's education. Is there a difference between intimacy and distance? Uchiha Fugaku thinks Itachi will attack the Hawks most, and it is completely understandable that he is powerless to resist, so as to give Sasuke a way out. But Uchiha Itachi's brain is not normal. Awakened Mangekyo did not dare to resist the old monkeys and the others, but felt that the Uchiha clan who wanted a coup d'état deserved to die, and massacred them himself, calling it for the glory of the Uchiha clan. But why did he attack the old, the weak, women and children? Can these people threaten Konoha's high-level rule? On the contrary, it can strengthen Konoha's power? You said you were insane, but in the end only one Uchiha Sasuke was left. You said that Sasuke was kept to help you have eternal Mangekyo Sharingan in the future, but in fact, it may be to give Sasuke eyes in the future. Everything is for Sasuke, but let Sasuke live an extremely miserable life. How self-righteous. But now it seems that this is justifiable, because his father has a problem with his mind. Owning Mangekyo Sharingan, they are all strong at cage level. If you count Uchiha Shisui and Itachi, Uchiha has 3 pairs of Mangekyo. With such strength, it is impossible to fight against the entire Konoha, and a coup is not allowed, but it is absolutely no problem to force Konoha's high-level peace talks. After all, the old monkey is the kind of fool who can hand over Hyuga Hazashi to calm the anger of Cloud Shinobi Village. Even Danzo dare not open his mouth to take the whole Konoha to deal with Uchiha who has 3 pairs of Mangekyo. Seek peace through struggle, and there will be peace. Seek peace through compromise, and there will be peace. What a simple truth. The old monkey doesn't understand, and neither does Uchiha Fugaku. The patriarch of the dignified Uchiha clan, who opened the existence of Mangekyo Sharingan, knelt down and hacked to death by the eldest son. I really want to laugh my teeth out. Zhao Yuchen typed it out in the diary. It's the fact that Uchiha Fugaku owns the Mangekyo Sharingan, which makes him feel outrageous. In Pure Land World, Izumi Uchiha held a copy of the diary and was silent for a long time. After a long while, a substantial disgust appeared in her eyes, and she said in a cold voice, "It's disgusting. This Yuchen is right. If you seek peace through struggle, then peace will survive. If you seek peace through compromise, then peace will perish. I, Uchiha, would not be where I am today without this patriarch and young patriarch. I used to worship such a person because I had no eyes. If I have a chance to be resurrected, I will nail you father and son to the pillar of shame, and let the descendants of Uchiha cast aside forever and pass on from generation to generation." Konoha, in Zhao Yuchen's mansion. Kushina floats into the house and finds Uchiha Makoto with concern in his eyes. She felt that it was too miserable for her best friend to have such a bunch of wonderful fathers and sons. As the patriarch, Uchiha Fugaku, driving the Mangekyo Sharingan, was able to make such a stupid decision. "Kushina, are you coming to sleep with me?" Makoto had a big smile on his face. Are you okay?" Kushina asked worriedly. "What can I do?" "Fugaku I've already forgotten him, in the true sense." Makoto put his hands on his stomach and said with a smile, "Kushina, if you want, I can help you too." "Huh?" Kushina blinked blankly, indicating that she didn't understand. "After reshaping my body, I have become more proficient in the ability of Mangekyo Sharingan. I can already swallow and delete memories through Yin Escape Chakra while controlling the soul." Makoto explained. "I have deleted most of the memories before rebirth, only remember the old parents, the memory feelings with you, and the basic interpersonal relationship. Even for Sasuke, only the basic cognition is left. For me now, everything in the past is just the conceptual past life of staying." Makoto's words are not comforting himself, but the truth. She was originally revived from the Pure Land and reshaped her body with the help of Yuchen. As long as there is no memory of her life, she can be said to have been reincarnated once. It's still possible. Kushina's eyes lit up. She immediately sat down cross-legged, and said, "Delete it for me. Just delete the memory from when I was taken away by Cloud Shinobi Village to when I died, and I will start a different life from that day on." Uchiha Makoto nodded slightly. It seemed that it was not Kushina's decision, and opened Mangekyo Sharingan directly. For all this, Zhao Yuchen doesn't know yet, otherwise he must be very proud. Can the two girls achieve this level? Isn't this more powerful than Boss Sao? At this point, he had let go of Uchiha Itachi's shackles, allowing him to summon the seal scroll and hand over another Mangekyo Sharingan. That's right, Itachi didn't dare to gamble with his brother's life in the end. Deformed love makes people feel ridiculous. Uchiha Fugaku has another Mangekyo Sharingan. Did you give it to Uchiha Obito? Zhao Yuchen frowned. Yes. Uchiha Itachi nodded. No wonder he escaped so fast just now. Zhao Yuchen suddenly said. It seems that he wants to go back and change his eyes. I don't know what kind of pupil technique Fugaku's Mangekyo will have when he cooperates with Kamui. It would be interesting if we couldn't use Kamui anymore. The pupil power of Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is higher than that of common Mangekyo Sharingan, and there is no need to worry about the risk of blindness if you use it too much. Susanoo can also open a higher form, but the pupil technique may change. Uchiha Sasuke has Amaterasu after switching to Itachi's eyes, but not Tsukuyomi. Next, I will take you back to Konoha. You just wait for the day when you become a resurrection tool. Zhao Yuchen planted multiple seals on Uchiha Itachi, and then said, if you cooperate actively, I can promise Sasuke a chance to inherit your eyes. Hearing this, Uchiha Itachi closed his eyes and said, I hope you will do what you say, and I beg you not to tell Sasuke the truth. I don't have the habit of talking too much. Zhao Yuchen said that he would not tell Sasuke the truth. But if someone else said it in the future, he wouldn't care. Things are settled, let's go back to Konoha next. Hope to have breakfast at Konoha tomorrow morning. Zhao Yuchen took out 2 vermilion bird mechanism beasts and invited Konan and Nagato together. The two did not refuse, and planned to live in Konoha for a while. Shua. 2 vermilion birds take off. At this moment, a big cat covered in blue chakra flames suddenly sprang out of the forest. Seeing the mechanism beast taking off, she immediately jumped high, and then released the full-body tail beast state, and said, Mr. Yuchen, wait a moment, take me with you. Under the moonlight, There was a graceful voice, behind her was a long, waist-length rice-colored straight hair that was braided. Seeing this, Yu Chen flexibly controls the vermilion bird organ beast and will be borrowed by wooden golem. Is this the vermilion bird mechanism beast? As expected of Yu Chen Kun's invention, it's amazing. Looked around curiously by wooden golem. Yu Chen looked at him, twitched the corners of his mouth slightly, and asked, "You are the two-tailed Jinchuriki, the second member, wooden golem. How do you know me and vermilion bird?" Hearing this, wooden golem's smile froze suddenly. Beside, the expressions of Konan and Shizune become wonderful. In Konoha village, all the girls dare not sleep at night. This Catwoman, what's the fuss about? Calm. Calm. Samui, you must calm down. Boom. Samuel clenched his fist and slammed it on the sofa. What the two wooden golems are doing now is to the extent that she can't calm down. You rashly rushed up, shouted Yu Chen's name, and also named Vermilion Bird Mechanism Beast. What is the difference between this and direct self-reporting? Do you think that Zhao Yu Chen is not smart enough to find tricks? Uyue Xian. Good guy, I'm direct, good guy. I finally understand what Bai Yu Chen often means by pig teammate. Tsunade. Utatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura are the crouching dragons and phoenixes of the old monkey. Whose voices are these? Samui. Stop talking, I'm a little desperate. I knew there was still some hope in persuading Mabui. Yu Rihong. Without a diary, it will be very troublesome for you to explain. Samui. Trouble is better than being cheated by wooden golem. Black soil. So why don't you just do it yourself? Samui. Do you want me, Samui, to share a man with you? Yamanaka Ino. I see, you are the kind of woman who pursues a couple for life. Sam Yi. That's right, I'm not pretending anymore. I'm showing my cards. I feel out of place in this group. Even if Mr. Yu Chen is excellent, but my requirement for a man is to only love me, and I think that's the case the condition. Otsutsuki Kagaya. Oh, superficial. Instead, they thought that some women would raise objections, or that some women expressed admiration for Samui but disagreed, or they agreed but chose differently. After all, everyone is a living person, with different growth environments and experiences, as well as different pursuits and personality views. It's like Yakumo Karama, living Yu Chen as his own will. Another example is Uzumaki Shanglin, who is deeply grateful for Yu Chen's worship and helps to open the harem. Another example is Hyuga Hinata, being gentle and shy is absolutely tolerant to Yu Chen, as long as she is treated kindly. Makoto and Kushina had misfortune, and now they are reborn and don't care about some minor details, just be happy with Yu Chen. But at the very beginning, Haitu felt that he was different from common women and should have sweet love. Terumi Mei looks like an attacker, but he is actually a big talker, no one can see through him. Azuki Shion is so sensible, but she has a strong admiration for Yu Chen. Yu Hihong is mature in thinking and longs for unique love just like Samuel, but she will consider reality and is attracted by Yu Chen's excellent. Every woman is unique, and naturally she has different choices and attitudes towards Yu Chen. It is impossible to make a mindless choice just because Yu Chen has good conditions and can bring benefits to them. That's not love, that's snobbery. But they didn't expect that it was Otsutsuki Kagaya who came out to refute for the first time, and he was so direct. Sam Yi. You, an unmarried woman who has no man and has children by herself, are also qualified to judge. Kagaya. Personal attack. The concubine treats it like a shoe, and the low and ridiculous means can't make the concubine feel the slightest disturbance. Kagaya. Yuya and Yukon were created by my concubine with the power of the sacred tree and the blessings of the people in this world. But they were not born by my concubine, they are not worthy. Kagaya. Before I came to this planet, I have lived for many years. I have seen the broken planet, StarCraft, a forest, and a peach blossom garden. Kagaya. Love? Its essence is nothing more than sex and attraction. The so-called only loving the other party can only be temporary, but it can never be forever. Sex can be restrained, but the attraction comes from the change of the other party and your own hobbies. The more variables. Kagaya. Biological instinct is mujang, especially for females. Women may be able to restrain themselves with advanced wisdom, but it doesn't mean they think so in their hearts, and mujang is the biggest attraction. Kagaya. Love, it can also be said to be the secretion of dopamine, is a physiological to psychological. Kagaya talked in the group chat, citing classics, biological science, social personality, etc., all involved. The final summary is very simple. The unique love may exist for a short time, but it will never exist forever. Even if it is restrained, It is only restraining the body and cannot affect cognition. Samuel is just talking. Samui. She had an urge to suggest that Otsutsuki Kagaya be silenced. But her habit of keeping calm for a long time prevented her from doing so. If she did, not only would she fail to succeed, but she would feel ashamed and angry as if she wanted to lose. And private use of public equipment will also be rejected by other women. Samui. I will prove it to you. Kagaya. You can't prove that if you find a man who is weaker than you, always attached to you, and you also like a man, the essence is just a circle. Kagaya. If you find a man who is stronger than you, even if it is a joke from the beginning, because the decision of whether to be loyal is in the hands of the other party, and you can only continue to show yourself to increase the weight. Kagaya. Looking through history, seeing it with my own eyes, I tell you that finding a strong man and constantly improving yourself is the best destination for a woman, unless you are invincible, like a concubine. Yamanaka Ino. Just beansacks, are you invincible? Makoto. I looked up at the sky and was relieved to find that the moon was still there. Kushina. Haha, what an invincible, but ended up being imprisoned in the moon for thousands of years. Black soil. Tell me a joke, Kagaya. I am invincible. I am just sealed. In the first ball space, Wei Yoruichi was stunned for 1 second, frowning for 2 seconds, relieved for 3 seconds, and furious for 4 seconds. Inferior human beings, I shouldn't have said so much to you, telling you the essence of existence. This concubine should watch you experience the pain of love. Concubine. Kagaya put his hand on his forehead, his eyes trembled. After she joined this group, she felt more and more wrong. In the past, she would not be so enthusiastic at all, nor would she talk nonsense. Why is this so? There is a problem with this group chat. Concubine, I want to quit you. At the same time, the cause of the riot. Terumi May and Black Earth came together to find Samuel. Don't comfort me, I'm not someone who can be swayed by a few words, Samui said directly. As long as you are fine, we are good sisters. Terumi May said with a smile. In the future, we must help each other. Don't even think about it. Samui expressed his determination. Yeah. The corners of Terumi May's mouth curled up. It seems that you were very upset, and you didn't pay attention to what Userin did through the live broadcast. What did she do? Samuel had a bad feeling in his heart. Well, read the diary yourself. Sam Yi paused and opened the copy of the diary. Sure enough, as I thought, Samuel has a sullen character. Not far away, I told you that Wooden Golem already has thoughts about me, but he restrained himself. Relax, when the ninja world is unified, all worries will dissipate. How can I let a woman who is interested in me slip away? No way. Samui. Why is she moaning? When did she travel thousands of miles to tell the two, Wooden Golem, that she has thoughts about Yu Chen, and she is still struggling to restrain herself? And this Yu Chen, I really believed it and recorded it in my diary. Is it sick? What happened? Samui asked Terumi May. See for yourself. Terumi May stretched out her finger, between the eyebrows of the original owner Samui. This is inheritance of memory, the secret technique of the Konoha Yamanaka family. How could you? Of course it's the reward from the copy of the diary. Terumi May smiled. On the day when Zhao Yu Chen was a guide for her, the number of her name mentioned in the diary was the first, and finally he got this secret technique, which can be used to pass on the picture's chakra knows and sees to others. Soon, Samui saw a scene. After hearing Yu Chen's inquiry, the two wooden golems were very relaxed. With her hands folded behind her back, she walks on the vermilion bird mechanism beast with graceful catwalks, flicking her twisted braids, and she has a unique and indescribable charm under the moonlight. What can be said makes Samuel unable to calm down. Of course it was Samuel who told me, Yu Chen-kun and vermilion bird mechanism beast. From Wooden Golem to Zhao Yu Chen's side, Chong's nose moved slightly, like a cat sniffing. She is remembering the taste of Zhao Yu Chen chakra, which is convenient for perception later. Sam Yi told you? Zhao Yu Chen raised his eyebrows. Wooden Golem nodded slightly, eyes softly said. She sent me a letter saying that she fell in love with a man in Konoha, the kind of love at first sight. Although she can barely restrain her performance, she can't control her emotions. But the relationship between Cloud Shinobi Village and Konoha Village is not good. Although the two villages are not the same blood feud as Cloud Shinobi Village and Iwagakure, there is always a gap. She is Raikage's secretary, and you are Hokage's assistant. It is very difficult for you to leave together. She told me about the boredom in her heart, and told me how excellent you are. After going back and forth, of course I know something about you. With sincerity written all over his face, Wooden Golem definitely doesn't look like he's acting. If Zhao Yuchen hadn't known what was going on and guessed that she must have a copy of the diary, she might have believed it. The pair of vermilion bird mechanism beasts, how do you know? Yuchen wondered. As for the vermilion bird mechanism beast, Konoha didn't seem to keep it secret. Samuel sent a letter back to the village. When I asked the village for help, the village told me relevant information, saying that you would come to rescue me. Let me pay more attention to the sky, Yumu answered fluently. Logically, there is no problem at all. It can even be matched with the intelligence brought by Shizune. Zhao Yuchen breathed a sigh of relief, nodded logically and said, so that's how it is. So Miss Wooden Golem is going to Konoha with us now? Can't it? By Wooden Golem with a flick of his pigtails. You are away Jinchuriki. Jinchuriki went to other people's hidden villages for no reason, which is no different from declaring war. Is Konoha in Ping now? Wooden Golem looked at another vermilion mechanism beast. Senju Hashirama was chatting excitedly next to Uzumaki Nagato. Uzumaki Nagato looked helpless, while Senju Tobarama looked like he didn't know Senju Hashirama. 2. Zhao Yuchen smiled lightly. Cloud Shinobi Village doesn't want to disappear into history, so it can't declare war. Ms. Wooden Golem can go there if she wants. The corner of Wooden Golem's mouth ticked slightly, and he said, then you must go, otherwise no one will comfort Samui who was hurt by a heart thief. Zhao Yuchen was sensible that what she said was a lie, but she nodded and said, if Ms. Wooden Golem didn't talk nonsense, I would definitely embarrass my beautiful woman. After speaking, he wrote down in his diary the emotion that Samuel had just seen. Samuel. Samui, by Wooden Golem, you come out and explain to me, what is going on? By Wooden Golem. Hey, Samuel, you actually spoke, I thought you acquiesced. Samui. By default. I don't believe you didn't see what I said above. Do you think I want to be with Yuchen? By Wooden Golem. Who knows, maybe you were woken up by Kagaya-ji. Kushina. 6. You are the first woman who agrees with Kagaya-ji. By Wooden Golem. Agreeing with what she said doesn't mean that people agree with her, does it? Kagaya. Sam Yi. Don't change the subject for me, you are obviously the one who wants to chase after Yuchen. Why do you say that I fell in love with him at first sight and still have a crush on him? You framed me. By Wooden Golem. Samuel, calm down, the coolest thing you care about. Samui. How do you want me to calm down? This guy Yuchen obviously took it seriously, and I actually became the woman who has a crush on him, so angry. By Wooden Golem. I'm just helping you take the brave first step, and it's for us Cloud Shinobi Village, isn't it? Samui. That is obviously your task. By Wooden Golem. Who stipulated it? Samui. No one stipulated it. Don't you all agree with what I said at the beginning? By Wooden Golem. Yes, I do agree that Yuchen is excellent, and I also agree that being with him is not a loss of blood. I also agree with you that the ninja world will be led by him to lead changes. I want Cloud Shinobi Village to continue in the future. To have a place, you must have a pillow next to Yuchen. I agree with everything you said. Samui. You don't want to say but, do you? By Wooden Golem. However, the person next to the pillow is not stipulated to be me. I think you can do it too. Sam Yi. I understand, you play me. I'm really, hi. Inside the post house, Samui's expression changed again and finally turned into a wry smile. At this time, I was smart, thinking that Wooden Golem would get it done, but now I'm being tricked. It's no wonder that Wooden Golem never came to Konoha Village, but Yuchen went to Konoha Village as soon as he left the village. It turned out that he was waiting for me here. Hearing this, Terumi Mei covered her mouth and smiled. Terumi Mei. It's a big show, but I understand it. Azuki Shion. Wonderful. At that time I was still thinking about how Samuel brainwashed Wooden Golem to be so successful, so it was all a fake. Fragrant phosphorus. The world of adults is really complicated. Ino. Shanglin. How can you steal my lines? Shanglin. Then let me put it another way, being with brother Yuchen, did you feel wronged? Very good, look at the end of the fragrant phosphorus. Karama Yukumo. I can really talk. After I have a good rest, I will draw the next vermilion bird mechanism beast and it will be yours. Fragrant phosphorus. Thank you, Sister Yukumo. Black soil. I also want the vermilion bird organ beast. His grandfather can fly, but she can't, so she is very greedy for vermilion bird mechanism beast. Karama Yukumo. I only send my sisters, the rest will be arranged by Mr. Yu Chen, it is useless to find me. Yu Rihong. Can I not even do it? Karama Yakumo. Did Teacher Hong finally decide to take that step? Yu Rihong. You are really. Anko. I can. Karama Yakumo. Then add a sister Anko. Tsunade. You guys are so shameful, can you have some backbone? Karama Yakumo. I heard from Yu Chen that in addition to Vermilion Bird, there are also Xuanwu, White Tiger, and the Azure Dragon, which is so powerful that it can destroy Konoha village. I will draw it and give it to my sisters, arrange one for each. Tsunade. Sister, after I am your long-lost sister, from now on I can be called Karama Tsunade, and you can also be called Senju Yakumo, what do you think? I didn't expect you to be such a Tsunade. The diary copy group chat is not a place outside the law, please stay sober and restrained, especially maintain your own personality. Samui. Don't gossip, Tsunade-ji, I'm going back to Cloud Shinobi village now, when the time comes, Azabui from our village will be the messenger, and I will leave. Tsunade. Really go? Sam Yi. Really go, I'm not interested in Yu Chen. Terumi Mei. Really? Then you were tall because of Yu Chen's suit photo cover. Cough. Samui. How do you know? Terumi Mei. I'm going to sleep, good night. Don't go. Samui jumped off the sofa, rushed to Terumi Mei and hugged her. Her snow-white skin became as red as a tomato at this moment. Say, how do you know what happened to me that night? That day, she was sitting at the table thinking about the perfect plan to get close to Yu Chen. After midnight, she saw that Kagaya-ji was rewarded with Yu Chen's suit photo. But she has never said these things, and it is impossible to say them. How did Terumi Mei know? Puff. The Black Earth who was drinking water directly opened his mouth and sprayed out. The impact of the four mountains caused hundreds of millions of points of damage to this young girl. I said I accidentally heard you talking in your sleep, would you believe me? Terumi Mei struggled to break free from Samui's shackles. During this process, the pajamas that the two were not wearing tight became looser and looser. But no matter how much springtime leaks out, there is no opposite sex to appreciate it. Samui, your talent is really not covered. Whenever Terumi sees that Samui doesn't cooperate, he just uses the yin move. She wanted to attack Samui's chest in a roundabout way, but she didn't succeed. Where did you know that? Samuel pulled his clothes over his shoulders and looked at Terumi Mei seriously. I said, I accidentally heard your dream evidence. You think I'll believe it? Then what do you think? Did it read my memory when it was passed to my memory? Well, if that's the reason you believe, so it is. Terumi Mei, I fight with you. A big battle broke out on the scene. The battle between two powerful female ninjas is naturally not as fierce as usual. In short, as a bystander, a young girl in Haitu couldn't bear all kinds of shocks, and finally lost the lawsuit and fled. Call. The two women finally lay down together, panting. Anyway, I won't go out and talk nonsense, don't worry. Terumi Mei assured. You've already said it in the group. How many people don't know? Samuel had already resigned to his fate. Fortunately, her heart is strong enough to bear it. So, you should drink less in the future. Do I want to drink it myself? You don't even help me. Well, if I help you, I might get drunk, and who would have thought that you would just? No, I absolutely can't just let it go. I will take revenge on anyone who made a move that night. I think you'd better save yourself. Kushina alone, you can't do anything. Who said that? Do you want to? Huh, good work done by Wooden Golem, then I'll go with the flow. Yeah? There was brilliance in Terumi Mei's emerald green eyes. She suddenly felt that she had only discovered the truth now. Is Samuel played by Wooden Golem an anti-general? No, she is so smart and calm when analyzing information. How could she not know Wooden Golem's character and way of doing things? Apparently, she was figuring out what Wooden Golem might do and did it on purpose. In case Wooden Golem is obedient and really pursues Yu Chen, then Cloud Shinobi Village will have the first Yu Chen pillow. At that time, whether Samuel wants to withdraw, or form an alliance with Wooden Golem, it's alright. If Wooden Golem doesn't cooperate, but turns against her, she will follow suit. But actually, she herself would love to have something happen with Yu Chen. But this matter was opened, pointed out, and even facilitated by Wooden Golem. However, this kind of cleverness, Mr. Yu Chen is so smart and knows each of us very well, will he not realize it? Thinking of this, Terumi Mei opened the diary again and watched what Yu Chen wrote. Even after that, she understood. No wonder Mr. Yu Chen didn't mean that Samuel was shy and cold, but sullen. Obviously, he knew wooden golem was given to the toolman by Samuel. These two guys together have minds. Terumi May thinks that in the future, she should not fight these two accounts. If you are sold, you may have to help count the money. Separation line, snapped. The sun rises in the east, and the first ray of sunshine in the morning breaks the tranquility of Konoha village. Several figures appeared on the Hokage rock. Among them the first and second rock shinobi stood next to a person whose face was similar to the head of the Hokage rock. It was Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobarama. The vermilion bird mechanism beast flew for half a night, and they arrived at Konoha smoothly. Is this the current Konoha? It looks much better than before. I don't know how Madara will feel when she sees it. Senju Hashirama took a panoramic view of Konoha, and the color of reminiscence appeared in his eyes. Ah Madara, ah Madara. In the past, when my sister-in-law was here, you were more restrained, but now you really don't hide it at all. Brother, don't you have any unclear relationship with Uchiha Madara? Senju Tobarama stood on his Hokage rock with his hands folded, looking bright. Along the way, Senju Hashirama can't leave Uchiha Madara in 3 words, which is simply sick. On Sarutobi Hiruzen's Hokage rock, Uzumaki Nagato nodded approvingly. Because the original owner of his Rinnegan was Uchiha Madara, Senju Hashirama bothered him all the way with various inquiries. Why is it comfortable to wear these eyes, is it well maintained, is it easy to use, and what is the ability? If he wasn't first Hokage, he'd already be beating someone up. Although you may not be able to fight, you must show your attitude. What nonsense. Senju Hashirama suddenly looked at Senju Tobarama, arguing. Madara and I are pure comrades in arms, comrades, do you know? The kind that can be entrusted to the back. So, you stabbed your Madara in the back? Senju Tobarama deadpanned. Senju Hashirama was instantly depressed. This younger brother deserved to be a swordsman, and the sword hit the vital point. Zhao Yuchen couldn't hold back his laughter when he saw the scene. Puff haha. Women who just woke up are still in the haze. A very familiar opening. Just returned to Konoha, enjoying the scenery on Hokage Rock, and going home for breakfast. I believe my wife Hinata will make it for me. Swish swish swish. Hinata suddenly accelerated the speed of washing, making Hanabi next to him look puzzled. First generation began to miss his Madara again, and was suppressed by second generation's vicious tongue. Senju Tobarama suspects that Senju Hashirama has an unclear relationship with Uchiha Madara. On this point, I have the right to speak, and he guessed right. Puff. The girls were dumbfounded. Such a big melon will be exposed today. Boom. In the mansion of the Senju family, Tsunade turned over and stood up. Because of his gaffe, he couldn't control his strength for a while, and directly pressed a big hole on the floor with his hands. But she didn't care about these, and focused on the copy of the diary. At this time, she was in a complicated mood, excited, apprehensive, looking forward to it, and fearful. The excitement and apprehension are naturally due to seeing the deceased grandpa and second grandpa soon. Expectation and trepidation are what Zhao Yuchen will say next. She wants to know but is afraid of damaging the reputation of Senju Hashirama. But obviously, no matter how her mood is, it will not affect Zhao Yuchen's diary writing. It is a cliché that Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama are reincarnations of Indra and Ashura. In a sense, Senju Tobarama's complaint is correct. Madara and Hashirama are brothers, descendants of Sage of Six Paths. However, the one I am writing down now is related to the beginning of the friendship between Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. At that time, Senju Hashirama's 2 younger brothers and Uchiha Madara's younger brother were killed by members of the opposing family. The Senju family and the Uchiha family were at a time when the war was in full swing. They could become friends under such circumstances, and even good friends' friends. It's all because of this. What's up? All the women holding a copy of the diary all cheered up and stared intently. They really want to know what is the secret that the god of Ninja World and Shira of Ninja World do not know, which makes Zhao Yuchen mention it so carefully. It was an afternoon. It's time. Beside a river, it should be the side of Nanheshwan. Well, the location is out. At that time, Madara was playing in the water, and Hashirama suddenly appeared, saying that he could hit farther. Good guy, as expected. Boys are boys. Even God of Ninja and Ninja Shira will inevitably like this kind of boring game. At that time, Madara, who was still a little Madara, tried to prove himself again, but his performance was not as good as before, so he shifted the responsibility to Dazuzi, thinking that it was the situation caused by Dazuzi standing behind him, and exposed himself. It's a super sensitive person who can't even urinate while someone is standing behind him. This back Hashirama deliberately planted a foreshadowing when Madara was peeing. The two of them are true friends. Can this relationship be normal? Effect. Inferior human beings, really boring. Kagaya closed his eyes, with contempt on the corner of his mouth. Oh my god, what the hell was I expecting? Tsunade ruffled his hair furiously. Who would have thought that her grandfather was such a wretched person before? Please forgive him for using the word obscene, but sensible people don't like being approached behind their backs, and deliberately sneak up on others when they pee. Isn't this obscene? Originally because of gambling, Senju Hashirama's image of the god of the Chunin world was not deep in her heart, and now it is almost gone. I didn't expect the god of the ninja world to have such a past with our ancestors. Makoto hooked Kushina's neck and said with a smile, this is much more fun than the battle in the Valley of the End that I've heard of since I was a child. When you were young, you still heard stories, but I was in danger before Konoha. Kushina recalled. It was a period of time that I didn't want to go back. I ate my last meal and never stopped, and I might die at any time. Countless people harbored malice towards the Uzumaki family. It's good now, isn't it? Makoto comforted. From today, we will start a new life. Speaking of this, Kushina hesitated. Sasuke and Naruto, can we just leave it? That's not called abandonment, and we didn't deny them. Makoto shook his head and said, but now we have erased the memory, and the body is a brand new body. Talking about resurrection is better than talking about sex. Sasuke and I, Naruto and you are not biologically mother and child. You can have maternal love, but from now on, you can't really be like a mother to a son. Hearing this, Chin nodded and said, I understand what you mean. Now that Naruto has officially become a ninja, I think I can find a suitable time to make it clear to him, and I will move in with Naruto in the future. Come on. Come on. How about you? I've already spoken to Sasuke. What? I said it. Kushina felt incredible. Yeah. Makoto smiled and said, Sasuke is very understanding, or he has always liked to worship Yuchen, so he agreed after struggling all night. After all, Uchiha Fugaku is really a failure, isn't he? But you're different. Kushina understands Makoto's meaning. Fourth Hokage's status in Konoha is too high. Naruto and the villagers are not so easy to persuade. I have to go to Shien and Shizune for advice. Kushina rushed out of the mansion in a hurry. Seeing this, Makoto did not stop, but came to the kitchen to wash vegetables and prepare materials. After Hinata comes over, it's better to do it directly. At this time, Senju Hashirama stood on the ruins of the Hokage building, wondering, is this Konoha being attacked? It was hard for him to imagine that the village was attacked, and Master Hokage was the first to suffer. Before I left, it was fine here, Zhao Yuchen said from the side. So Suna knew we were coming back and specially prepared a welcome ceremony for us. Senju Hashirama scratched his head. Senju Tobarama looked at all this with cold eyes, and said, it's not good. At this moment, several figures appeared around, surrounding Yuchen and others. The leader is Hitaki Kakashi, and there are some Anbu members around him. Master Yuchen, are these two the first generation and the second generation? Kakashi asked. In public, he maintains the respect of Yuchen in office. Look at Hokage Rock, it seems. Idiot, Hokage has pictures on the office wall, is that all right? That's why it's so strange, isn't it? Master Yuchen is at the side, and he knows the reason. One after another, people from around came to ask questions, and after seeing Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobarama, they talked a lot. The characters in Legendary who have been dead for a long time suddenly appear alive, what's the problem? However, I have experienced the resurrection of Uzumaki Kushina and Uchiha Makoto twice, and now Konoha people have a high acceptance of the resurrection, which is not surprising. Shodai, can I trouble you with something? Zhao Yuchen did not answer Kakashi's question, but looked at Senju Hashirama. What is it? Hashirama asked curiously. Restore the Hokage building with wood-style ninjutsu. Zhao Yuchen pointed to the ruins under his feet, and then threw a few tree seeds in 4 directions. Any kind of ninjutsu, if created purely using chakra, will disappear after chakra is exhausted. So not even Senju Hashirama can turn the land of winds into an oasis. No amount of water-style ninjas can make Sanagakure have many reservoirs. However, if the material is collected on the spot and injected into chakra to control it to perform ninjutsu, it can get twice the result with half the effort and cause a permanent effect. For example, If you stand on the river and cast water style, the water will turn into a pond when it falls on the ground. If Senju Hashirama ripens the tree species, the big tree or tree will still exist after chakra disappears. It's a small matter, leave it to me. Hashirama understood Bai Yuchen's intentions, and after looking at the overall situation of the Hokage building, he clapped his hands together and shouted, "Wood style, giant wooden column technique." A huge amount of chakra emerged from Hashirama's body, passed into the ground from the feet, and ripened the several tree seeds dropped by Yuchen, growing crazily. Boom. The 4 big trees began to soar at a speed visible to the naked eye. Some turned into pillars, some turned into beams, some turned into heavy pillars, and some side branches brought the ruins. In just 10 seconds, the Hokage building was restored to its original shape, except that some branches and trunks were supported in some places inside and outside. Snapped. With another clap of Senju Hashirama, all the branches and trunks of Yi Luo became orderly under Yi Luo. At the same time, the roots of the trees died directly underground, which was invisible to ordinary people, so that the trees could no longer grow independently. And when it was all over, some of them were on the rooftop of the Hokage building, looking down. Everyone. Yuchen walked to the front, looked at everyone's shocked appearance, and said, "I believe I don't need to explain further. These 2 are Master First Hokage and Master Second Hokage from our Konoha village, who were resurrected for some special reasons. The specific situation will be conveyed by Mr. Fifth Hokage at that time. Everyone is fine, don't gather here yet, you can disperse." Hearing this, most people immediately started to leave, but the discussions did not stop. It's wood style from Legendary, it's amazing. As expected of the Lord of the First Generation, the Hokage building was restored to its original state with ease. With this means, it would be a pity not to engage in construction. Everyone. Hey, I'm afraid you have some serious illness. It's a pity that Da Zuzi doesn't go into the construction industry. Female. The Hokage building has been rebuilt with pictures, Tsunade must thank me very much. I thank you for your size, this is obviously the credit of my great-grandpa. Tsunade, who had just walked out of the Senju mansion, rolled his eyes, and then sped towards the Hokage building. At this moment, Zhao Yuchen greeted Hitaki Kakashi upstairs, and asked doubtfully, "Don't you know about the resurrection of first generation and second generation?" "Should I know?" Kakashi was taken aback. This kind of thing should be Konoha's top secret, right? Although he has a wide network of contacts in Konoha and his status is not low, he still has no access to Konoha's top secrets. This shouldn't be a question. Chen frowned and said, "Senior Lu Ju and the others all know about the resurrection of the first generation and second generation, and they will definitely tell Lord Fifth Hokage. If I were a member of the 5th generation, I would at least inform all the Jonin in the village, the heads of the major ninja tribes and people with relatively high status in advance. You have no reason not to know. The first generation and second generation projects have a special status in Konoha. Although many years have passed, their appearance has been known and remembered by many people. If normal people see Konoha suddenly appearing first generation and second generation, they will definitely be as shocked and questioned as those people before, and it may cause some troubles. Notifying some people in advance can avoid this situation. Tsunade had no reason not to. Senior Luju and the others? Kakashi put away the kissing heaven, wondering. As far as I know, they haven't come back yet. What? Zhao Yuchen showed a puzzled expression. Did this happen by accident? The location of Nara Luju and the others returning to the village is closer to Konoha village than Fenglifang. Nara Luju and the others returned to the village 7 or 8 hours earlier than they did. They also use the vermilion bird mechanism beast to return to the village, and there is not much difference in speed. So Nara Luju and others must return to Konoha village sooner than Zhao Chen and others. As for the fact that they spent the night resting somewhere, with the vermilion bird mechanism beast, there is no need for this. Strange. Zhao Yuchen frowned deeply. The feeling that this kind of thing is beyond his grasp makes him very uncomfortable. Or, Nara Luju and others felt that they didn't return to the village so soon, so they really just found a place to rest up? Grandpa, second grandpa. While Zhao Yuchen was thinking in silence, Tsunade's voice sounded from the side. It's Kozuna. Senju Hashirama's eyes lit up. He greeted Tsunade with a laugh, looked Tsunade up and down, and said, "When you grow up, you will also be a great beauty. It seems that you have inherited the advantages of your parents and Mito." Female Big 18 changes. You looked like a boy before I died, but now you are very feminine. Senju Tobarama was also looking at Tsunade, his eyes softened a lot. It's all thanks to 100 healings mark. Zhao Yuchen answered from the side. Shut up. Tsunade yelled at Yuchen, with an unnatural blush on his face. She knew that Yuchen was tailoring her breasts, but she couldn't break it yet. 100 Healings Mark. A special seal used by the Uzumaki family to store chakra and save it for use in battle. What happened to this seal? Senju Tobarama wondered. The actual age of the second generation and the fifth generation is probably older than all of you. Zhao Yuchen clicked. Hearing this, both Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobarama were taken aback. Immediately, they thought that Yuchen mentioned on the way back that the current time was the 60th year of Konoha's establishment, which meant that Tsunade was already in his 50s. And they were all in their 40s when they died in battle, and they were indeed younger than Tsunade. But Tsunade looks to be in his 20s now, which is a bit exaggerated even if it is put together in the Senju clan, a family whose age is generally frozen. Thinking of Yuchen's proposal to mention the 100 Healings Mark again, Senju Tobarama's eyes lit up, and he asked Tsunade, "Have you improved the 100 Healings Mark?" Yes. Tsunade didn't hide anything, he used medical ninjutsu to improve the 100 Healings Mark, and what effect the 100 Healings Mark has now. Ha ha ha, good improvement. After hearing this, Senju Hashirama immediately knew that Tsunade was improving his own ability, and praised, "When you open the seal of Baihao, your healing ability should be higher than mine. And this seal can also increase strength, and youth will last forever, which is very good." Not bad. Senju Tobarama followed suit. As a master of forbidden technique, Tsunade's improvement has given him many new ideas, and he also thinks that the 100 Healings Mark has great potential. For example, the Sage mode, which he had never been able to get into before, may be realized by improving the 100 Healings Mark. There is also the Tailed Beast Chakra. There is no need to seal the Tailed Beast, it can be extracted and used directly. They can completely raise the Tailed Beast, and become a cooperative relationship, not necessarily a slave relationship. In short, many ideas burst into his mind. The two grandpas think that I don't embarrass you. Tsunade smiled. When she became a ninja, her two grandfathers had already passed away, and her parents died before her grandfathers. Therefore, except for Uzumaki Mido, she was not recognized and encouraged by her close relatives when she was a child. Instead, she only had the heavy pressure brought by the word Senju. Now, it is also a dream come true. Grandpa, do you want to go back to the Senju clan's land? Tsunade asked. Not in a hurry. Senju Tobarama raised a finger, sensed the imprint of Flying Thunder God that he had left in some places in the village, and said at the same time, "Before that, let's discuss how to deal with monkeys, Danzo, and there are some Udatain Kaharu. After dealing with them, I still have a lot of important things to talk to you about." Yes, then let's go to Hokage's office first. Tsunade was kind. Compared to Hokage, she thinks she can't compare to Senju Tobarama, or even Namikaze Minato. Now that Senju Tobarama is back, as long as he has a reason, it's okay to become Hokage control Konoha again. Wait a moment. Tsunade and the others were about to leave when Zhao Yuchen stopped them suddenly and asked, "Fifth generation, Senior Lu Ju and the others haven't come back yet." Lu Ju? Tsunade shook his head slightly, and said, "It may be that the Hokage building was destroyed, and they haven't come to my side to report the situation." Tsunade. At Yamanaka Ino, was your father home last night? Ino. Just about to go out, I asked my mother, but my father has not come back yet. Hyuga Hinata. Cousin Tokuma hasn't come back yet. When I went out just now, my father asked me to go to Sister Tsunade to check some basic information. Shizune. Huh. Yuchen and I have already returned to Konoha. How come Hyuga Tokuma, who came back earlier, haven't returned to the village yet? Terumi Mei. Something is wrong. Sam Yi. There is a situation. As soon as the girls exchanged information, they all realized that something was wrong. Let me ask. Tsunade's expression changed slightly, and after saying something to Zhao Yuchen, he immediately summoned Anbu, and at the same time asked Hitaki Kakashi to find someone. At the same time, Tsunade also asked Anbu to find someone from the intelligence department. Soon, a group of people gathered in Hokage's office. Master Tsunade, you can be sure that the elite team headed by Senior Shizune has not returned yet. Shizune quickly integrated the information and told them what they already knew. The intelligence department has not received any news. The person in charge of the intelligence department said. It means that I have not received any news of Nara Luju and others returning to the village, nor have they received any news about their help or other matters. Then where and what are they doing? Tsunade couldn't help thinking. At the same time, One is located on the island south of the Iron Country and east of the Fire Country. Being discussed by Zhao Yuchen and others. Nara Luju and others gathered together, constantly fighting with a group of puppets with the same armor, and all kinds of ninjutsu are uneven. Yi Kang, who has infinite chakra, is the absolute main force. A single fireball thrown by Chi Mi can turn a piece of armor into ashes. Behind her was a 13-year-old girl with purple eyes and long beige hair. Suddenly, a strange light appeared in the pupils of the girl purple, as if she was using a special pupil technique. When everything was over, her expression changed drastically, and she said, "Sister Yi Kang, it's not an option to go on like this. If they can't get out of here, they will all die." Hearing this, Yi Kang's expression suddenly became serious. Shenair was very interested in the girl's words. It's not that she trusts others easily, but because of the special status of the girl, she is a witch from the Devil Country. As one of the top executives of Sanagakure in the past, Yi Kang knew something about the witches in the Devil Country. There was once a group of monsters that almost destroyed the ninja world, but were sealed by the strong. I don't know how many years later, a careerist appeared, trying to rule the world with the power of monsters, but was sealed by Maitreya, the witch of the Ghost Country. The witches of the Devil Country are passed down from generation to generation, and each generation has similar powers. One is the ability to seal monsters, and the other is the ability to predict the death of others. Anyone who was seen dead by the witch has never escaped the precedent of fate. This caused the people of Guizi Kingdom to respect and fear witches, and they were unwilling to provoke them. And the girl she is guarding now is the daughter of Maitreya, the new Miko Ziyuan. On their way to Konoha village, they were suddenly attacked by a group of undead monsters, and the boat capsized. At the critical moment, Yi Kang and others controlled the vermilion bird mechanism beast to fly over this sea area and came to help after discovering the situation. During this process, Yi Kang and Zi Yuan discovered the identities of the owners of the copies of each other's diaries, and their relationship became closer. The enchantment around the island is very strong, and we cannot break it. We must find rescuers from outside to appear. Yi Kang's eyes were fixed, and he shouted to Nara Luju and others, "Buy me a few minutes, I have a way to contact 5th Hokage, and ask her to send someone to support us." The speed of rebirth of the monster armor puppet is very fast, and the attack seems to have a certain restraint on the dirty body, so she must be careful and deal with it with all her strength while protecting Xian. So she has no energy and time to pay attention to the copy of the diary. But now, she must find Tsunade and the others to help break the situation. Can you find foreign aid? Well, we will temporarily leave the matter of resistance to us. Nara Shikahisa, Akamichi Choza, and Yamanaka Hayi exchanged a look with each other, and Ino Shika Cho went straight to full fire. Meat Bomb Yo-Yo. Akamichi Dingza uses expansion jutsu, transforms into a Gundam Titan and then turns into a rotating meatball. After Yamanaka sensed the number and location of the enemies, he passed them on to Nara, and the latter used the shadow slap technique to control the actions of Akamichi Dingza, horizontal all enemies in a short time. Yi Kang finally got a chance to breathe, and immediately used a copy of the diary to ask for help. Yi Kang. Sisters, help. If no one comes to save us, we will all die. Black Soil. Yi Kang, you are still in the group, if you don't speak, you think you are dead. Yi Kang. What? Black Soil. Oh, you can understand it as dead. Yu Chen wrote it in his diary last night when he was having a barbecue. Yi Kang. I said I was going to die, you still have the mood to talk about this with me? Black Soil. As we all know, impure world reincarnation will not die. Inside the post house, Haitu showed a slightly smug expression. You all said I was stupid, and even said that I was comparable to first Hokage. Just kidding, I'm a smart horse most of the time. Yi Kang. Is there a possibility I am not joking? Black Soil. How is it possible to cause irreversible damage to impure world reincarnation? Only yin-yang escape or seal, but then you will not die, but enter the pure land. Yi Kang. Well, after you have resurrection, don't you take death back? Tamari. Ahem, I was discovered by you, so we are not in a hurry. Tien. I am anxious, seeing that the business of urns will decrease in the future. I have to ask brother Yu Chen to compensate me. Hi, you are still tall. Hyuga Hinata. Actually, I just wanted to say that Mr. Tsunade can directly ask Sister Hakura about the person involved, and the speed can be a little faster. The subtext of this sentence is, why are you so stupid to ask about Ino Yamanaka's situation? The corners of Tsunade's mouth twitched slightly. Can she say that she was suddenly surrounded by the solemn feeling brought by Yu Chen? Did she not expect it? Doesn't that make me look stupid? Zhao Yu Chen keenly noticed the change of expression on Tsunade's face, and asked, Master 5th generation, what's wrong? It's okay. I just thought of the reason why they might not come back. Tsunade rubbed his brows and said, after the two of you sent the help message from Cloud Shinobi Village from Wooden Golem, I used the summoning beast to send the message to Shizune. There is also a message to Lu Ju and the others, asking them to go to the rescue. So it's not impossible for them to come back later than you. The matter of the diary cannot be exposed. Since she can get in touch with Yi Kang, it is enough for her to arrange someone to help. Is that so? Zhao Yu Chen raised his eyebrows. It makes sense logically, but it feels fake. We can only hope for the best. Tsunade showed a serious expression and said, from now on, the liaison team will start to perceive and try to contact Luju and the others with all their strength, and let them return to the village immediately, or send them away if they don't return to the village. The reason is passed on. At the same time, let the Inuzuka clan, the Hyuga clan, and the Aburame clan each form a team to search the area bordering the Land of Fire and the Land of Iron. Assistant Yu Chen, if you feel tired, you can go home and rest first. If you still have energy, I will trouble you to act as a guide again and take these new friends around Konoha. With that said, Tsunade has a two-place finish with Wooden Golem, Uzumaki Nagato and Konan. Since Hokage-sama has spoken, I will withdraw first. Seeing that Tsunade didn't seem to be in a hurry, Zhao Yu Chen guessed how she could know the safety of Naruto and others, and felt a little relieved. Nagato, Konan, you go to my house first. After breakfast, I'll take you for a walk in Konoha. Hearing this, Nagato and Konan naturally had no objection. The two lead by Wooden Golem are a little unhappy, they came together, why not bring her along? As for Miss Wooden Golem, I'll take you to the show hall to find Miss Samuel first. Hearing this, Wooden Golem felt upset. She even forgot that she had someone in Konoha, who was indeed different from Nagato and the others. Alright, let's tease that guy Samui first. I have just left Hokage's office, and I am sure that Mrs. Yi Kang and Senior Lu Ju will not return to the village, and there is no news at all. I guess what happened to them. Tsunade behaved very strangely. I think she must have found a way to know about the situation of Yi Kang's wife and the others. She allowed me to leave so calmly, because she knew that there was no major problem with them. That's good, although death is not terrible to me, I can be resurrected anyway, but it feels different after all. And my lively and lovely wife Ino and gentle wife Hinata will definitely be sad for a while. Maybe I can wash my face with tears. I don't want to see such a scene. It's fine, I'll go home first to see if my Hinata wife's skills have improved. It's really the same as what he said, he is a big foodie, he just knows how to eat. At the gate of Yu Chen's mansion, Hinata, who had already begun to grow her hair, smiled slightly, her white eyes filled with joy. After all, Zhao Yu Chen worried so much. It seemed that he just didn't want her and Ino to lose their emotions. Indeed, for Yu Chen, death is not scary at all, so what is there to worry about? This man is really gentle in details. So, a foodie should be matched with a foodie. Hinata walked through the door with increasingly brisk steps. On the other side, Kaya, who was in Leichen Mansion, only felt his heart skip a beat. Immediately afterwards, she felt honey melt in her heart, rushing to every cell in her body, and her whole body seemed to become sweeter. It turned out that all the worries of Yu Chen big brother were just to take care of her mood. A man who is so gentle to himself down to the details, without mentioning other conditions, shouldn't he be loved to death? Sakura sauce. Ino suddenly turned his head to look at the electric pole on one side. Why? The little Sakura behind the electric pole was stunned. She was stalking with the camouflage technique that Jonin masters are good at, and she was easily spotted by Ino. Shouldn't this be to mock her, or question her? With half of her head exposed, little Sakura said with a little embarrassment, Ino, what a coincidence. Coincidentally? Ino smiled meaningfully and asked, don't you have to go on a mission today? The time agreed with Mr. Kakashi hasn't come yet. Seeing that Ino didn't intend to ask, little Sakura felt relieved. But immediately after, a voice sounded in her mind. What's wrong with being cowardly? So what if you were questioned? Just ask the questions you care about. No wonder you have time to follow me. Ino changed the subject. The little Sakura was dumbfounded, and then she blushed and was about to argue. But at this time, Ino walked up to her, stretched out his hand to hug her tightly, but soon separated, and smiled. Little Sakura, I am in a good mood today, so I forgive you and my former self. Let's reconcile, we are still the best girlfriends ever. Don't worry, I have no interest in brats like Uchiha Sasuke. To be honest, it was you who said you liked it before, and I shouted and played. I will not do it again. As he spoke, Ino stretched out his hand to touch little Sakura's broad forehead, and smiled. Actually, I've always wanted to say that this one is still pretty. Little Sakura. Little Sakura. Little Sakura. Damn. Why this Ino can act so mature and charming. God. Why is Ino so handsome when he says these words? With such a comparison, I simply don't want to be beaten, like a brat. How handsome to be so dismissive of Sasuke. What made Ino like this? I'll go to brother Yu Chen's house first to have a round with sister Xian, and we'll go shopping and watch movies together when I'm free. Next time, don't follow me secretly, just come up and say hello. Reaching out to pat little Sakura on the shoulder, Ino turned around gracefully, his steps appearing brisk. She hummed an unknown tune, and everyone could feel that she was in a good mood. At least little Sakura looked at her and felt that she smelled sour. Brother Yu Chen. Teacher Yu Chen. When Ino disappeared at the corner of the street, little Sakura realized nothing. Thinking of what Ino said just now, she felt that she had found the reason why the other party had changed so much. Is it the same as the love comics say, falling in love with someone older than yourself can make yourself better? Little Sakura fell into a strange atmosphere of thinking, until Naruto's voice sounded beside her. She felt more and more that children were really boring. For these 2 episodes, obviously not many people will care. After the girls saw Yu Chen's words, a smile appeared on Kakuzu's mouth instinctively. After "my woman is different from other women," Yu Chen showed his tenderness and consideration through a little. Today's Hinata Ino, of course, is the future of them, isn't it? Dress up and go to breakfast. Yuhihong, who felt that her makeup was not perfect, returned to the bathroom. There should be time to accept my challenge today. Azuki Shion took out a samurai sword and wiped it. How can I lose so that it is not so fake but so fast? By wooden golem, you will definitely regret it. A triumphant smile appeared on the corner of Samuel's mouth. The snow plum blossoms are stunning in the world. All the women have their own feelings. Only one person was a little confused. Yi Kang. I said, sisters, I am still in danger. What are you doing at 5th generation? I still want Yu Chen to come and save me in person. Ino. Brother Yu Chen has been busy for so many days before returning to Konoha, can you be considerate? Yi Kang. No, there is someone beside you who is your father, right? Ino. That's right, but it doesn't have to be Yu Chen's rescue. Yi Kang. I am really Yi Kang. It wasn't Yu Chen who came to save us. Even if the god of ninja came, we would be dead. Azuki Shion. What do you mean? Why does it have to be Mr. Yu Chen? Yi Kang. So you guys keep interrupting all the time. I don't know if the time I'm speaking is Nara Shikuju and the others trying their best to fight for it. Give me a quiet area. Yi Kang. The reason why we couldn't come back, and couldn't get in touch with the outside world, was because we were trapped in an enchantment when we rescued people, and the person I rescued was named Zayuan, a witch from the Devil Country. Tsunade. Witches of Ghost Country. Samui. It's actually a witch from the Devil Country. All the women who knew the information about the witches of the Ghost Country were shocked. The girls who had heard about it were naturally confused, but they didn't ask too many questions, because they knew that someone would definitely come out to clarify their doubts. Samui. Witches in the Ghost Country are very special, they. Sure enough, Samui answered everyone's doubts. After learning about Miko's deeds and abilities, all the girls were surprised. Even Otsutsuki Kaguya's heart stirred up a small wave. It turns out that this is the priestess who inherits part of the concubine's power. So, the predicament they are facing now is caused by sprites? If this is the case, after they die, they may not have the chance to be resurrected. Concubine, do you want to tell them? Ridiculous. Otsutsuki Kagaya closed his eyes to keep himself from looking at the contents of the diary copy group chat. She felt that she was affected by some unknown force, and her thoughts began to become inferior and weak. As the eldest daughter of the original head of the Otsutsuki clan, the goddess Azuki, she is a basket above others. How could she care about these ants when she was high above her? Hesitation and thinking are her cowardly manifestations. Mere human beings, do you want me to speak? Kagaya let the heart return to dead silence, without any fluctuation. Naturally, no outsiders knew about all this, and the girls were still chatting. Yu Rihong. Predicting the future. What a powerful ability. Tsunade. It is not a prophecy in the true sense, it is just a fragment of the future where a person is about to die. Samui. That's right. The witches of the devil country can't use this ability as they like, and the future they can see is also limited. Only the death of the people around them will happen within an extreme time. Anko. I think this is also very powerful. If you have this ability, you can help people around you avoid death, right? If you know in advance what will cause you to die, can you avoid it? Tsunade. If it could be like this, the witches in Guizi country would have been looted by the hidden villages long ago. In fact, witches see the future as an established fate. Even if they know in advance and take various precautions, they cannot avoid it. It will all happen eventually. Samui. I remember the records of Cloud Shinobi Village. Over the centuries, witches have tried countless times to use their abilities to change the fate of people around them. There are also some hidden villages and ninjas who have tried to make witches become a mascot to seek good luck and avoid evil, but all fail without exception. Tien. Then it's better not to have this kind of ability. Knowing in advance that the people around you are going to die but you can't change it with all your strength, what kind of torment will you feel in your heart? Xianglin. Yes, when my mother told me that I had 3 months to live at most, I lived every day in a muddle and suffered a lot. Thanks to you Chen big brother, I changed everything. Terumi Mei. You are really pervasive, but I won't talk about you this time. After all, Yu Chen is indeed a heartwarming excellent man, and he has the power to change our destiny. Black Soil. Yes, if we are just characters in anime in Yu Chen's eyes, with a predetermined destiny, we will all be able to change after his arrival, such as the resurrection of Kushina and Makoto's sister. Yi Kang. You were right, that's why I said that Yu Chen must be rescued. Yukura. Miko Shion of this generation, like us, also has a copy of the diary, because she has almost no chakra, so I didn't pull her into the group for the time being. Yi Kang. Zayuan had a very difficult life before, and she was even indifferent to the people around her because she was afraid of the death of her relatives, and the people in the Guizi kingdom have also regarded the abilities of witches as a curse for thousands of years, and even thought they were bring death. Yi Kang. Until half a month ago, after Zayuan got a copy of the diary, she found that the fate of her maidservant who was supposed to die had been rewritten, and Mr. Yu Chen appeared in the rewritten screen, which means that Yu Chen can change anyone in this world who is destined to die destiny. Yi Kang. Zayuan thinks that this is the redemption bestowed on them by the gods, and the best husband bestowed on her by fate, so she set off for Konoha. Karama Yukumo. I have vision, I like it, and I must save it. Yi Kang. Right, Nara and Luju and I rescued each other, because I was worried that the body of impure world reincarnation would be destroyed, so I had no time to talk in the group until now. Yukura. Zi Yuan told me that she had seen the scene of Nara Shikaku and the others dying in 7 days, that's why I asked them to buy me time. Now I come to rescue you, you must let Yu Chen come to rescue. Yi Kang. Our current location is on an island south of the Iron Country and east of the Fire Country. We must be right to find this place. Look at the arrangement, I will go first. Yi Kang. Although I can still be resurrected, I hope I won't die again. After quickly finishing a series of words, Yi Kang immediately went offline and created 5 fireballs at the same time. Shua. 4 fireballs flew out, just devouring the 2 armor golems that appeared behind Nara Shikaku and Yamanaka High. And the last fireball flew towards the rear, destroying an armor puppet drilled from the ground. Huh. Yi Kang breathed a sigh of relief. But at this moment, an armor puppet suddenly appeared from the ground under its feet, and stretched out 2 hands at the same time. Flames burst out directly from Yi Kang's feet. The armor puppet instantly turned into dust and dispersed. But Yi Kang staggered and almost fell down. Sister Yi Kang. Zayuan immediately stepped forward to support Yi Kang. I'm fine. Yi Kang responded with a relaxed smile, but a solemn look flashed in his eyes. Just now, she clearly felt that her soul was separated from the body where she was held by the armor puppet, and she could no longer control this dirty body. If the armor puppet proves to hurt her, her soul will most likely leave her body completely and return to the Pure Land. The weird power that acts directly on the soul, impure world reincarnation, has met its nemesis. Sister Yi Kang, will Yu Chen Gao come to rescue us? Zayuan Purple's eyes were full of expectation. Don't worry, I will come. Yi Kang insisted, his eyes confident. The stinky man is so gentle and considerate to Hinata and Ino, and even calls her wife, how could he not come? That's good. Zayuan breathed a sigh of relief and said, otherwise, we will all die. In the future she saw, Nara Luju and others would be killed 7 days later, and their souls would be sent to death instead of entering the Pure Land and Wangchen, and there would be no chance of resurrection. Don't worry. Yi Kang comforted Ziyuan. Even if he dies, Kong can bring him back to life. But these things don't need to be so clear now. In the group chat at this time, the girls once again breathed a sigh of relief. Sam Yi. Calm down everyone. Fate is fixed and inevitable, so Shion said that Nara Shikaku and the others still have 7 days to die, so it can be said that they will not die if they leave. Azuki Shion. It is indeed understandable. Master Tsunade can arrange for someone to confirm the location of the island first, and let Yu Chen go later today. Tsunade. I understand, so you don't have to worry about too many doubts, and Mr. Yu Chen finds it tricky. By Wooden Golem. Samuel, I am following Yu Chen to find you now, will you take me to the wood leaves? Samui. No, I followed Yu Chen to his house for breakfast. At Hinata, Hinata's sister, add me. Xianglin. Welcome, welcome, Hinata-chan and I are in charge of cooking today. By the way, Sister Samui, shouldn't you stay away from Brother Yu Chen? Sam Yi. Although I think so in my heart, but because Wooden Golem tricked me, I can't show any strangeness. I can only show that I have a crush on Mr. Yu Chen, and it's just a disguise. Ninja compulsory course. Terumi Mei. Hee, pretend, just keep pretending. Samui. Hinata. No matter what, welcome to come over as a guest. Samui. From Wooden Golem, you go to Kyushu Shaowen to have breakfast by yourself, and I will be your guide after the meal is over. By Wooden Golem. If you say so, then I will also go to Mr. Yu Chen's house to have breakfast, and then pester him to be my guide. Samui. Calm down and be obedient. By Wooden Golem. Hee, I have already asked Mr. Yu Chen what he meant, and he has already agreed. Samui. You guy Terumi Mei. Horrible. Why is this woman so thoughtful? I can't afford to provoke her. Terumi Mei rubbed her shoulders. Afterwards, she returned to the room and murmured, change into clothes that show your figure. Kagaya. Hee. Why did this Kagaya-ji come out suddenly? Makoto. Are you sick? Puff. All the girls laughed out loud. As soon as your words came out, they thought Makoto had to show some respect to Kagaya when he changed his gender. I didn't expect it to be foreshadowing. Damn inferior woman. Kagaya subconsciously clenched his fists, but then smiled. It's okay, I can appreciate your desperate expressions right away. Kagaya. The power of the witch is bestowed by the concubine, and it is used to seal the evil thoughts of the gods from another mysterious continent. Makoto. Powerful, powerful, worthy of being the ancestor of chakra. What power in the ninja world does not come from you? Kagaya. Ignorant guy, there is a local practice method in this world, which has been passed down by temples in various countries, and you can directly practice natural chakra, which has nothing to do with concubines, but it has only been developed initially, and it is not important to take over. Hearing this, Makoto's expression froze slightly. Is this my face being slapped in the face by dimensionality reduction at the knowledge level? But it doesn't matter, I don't know green tea at night. Makoto. Thank you ancestor for telling me. The ancestor is really kind, told us that there is an exclusive cultivation method in this world. I will ask Yu Chen. Maybe it can help in dealing with Otsutsuki in the future. Kagaya. If you can have this idea, yes, you will grow up. Makoto. This woman seems a little dazed. The girls laughed again. Kushina put her arms around Makoto's shoulders, her smile trembling at Makoto. You'd better stop treating her, she feels a bit bullying. I really want to bully her, so I can't send her to the small black room, Makoto said angrily. TCH, you think I don't know what you're thinking? It's fun to be able to talk overnight. Kushina laughed. Makoto didn't answer, but continued to speak in the group chat. Makoto. Kagaya-ji, you mentioned the ability of witches, what do you mean? Kagaya. Hey, the chaotic god is just the divine sense coming, but the concubine can't kill it and can only seal it. How different do you think? Kagaya. Let me tell you, that mysterious piece of land, even my concubine and Yuya can't touch it. Kagaya. Even if the chaotic gods only use the power displayed by puppets, they are of high standard, high level, and high field. Kagaya. If ordinary people are killed by the power of evil spirits, their souls will be infected. Kagaya. In other words, resurrection is useless to them. After finishing this series of words, Kagaya-ji showed a bright and cold smile. Despair. Let the concubine despair. Please your concubines with your despair. But the next moment, the smile on her face froze. Are these human women thinking abnormally? Yamanaka Ino. The soul is scattered? Sent to the next life? Can't be resurrected? Isn't that the real death? At the entrance of Yu Chen's mansion, Ino felt cold all over his body, with a look of fear on his face. Before knowing the news, her confidence was Yu Chen, who was resurrected. In the worst case, as soon as Yamanaka dies, Yu Chen can also be resurrected. But if even the soul disappears, how can it be revived? After the death, the father is a new person. Hyuga Hinata. How can there be such a power zone in this world? Azuki Shion. No, yes, don't forget that the soul of 4th Hokage was also sent to reincarnation by Mr. Yu Chen, and he has started a completely new life, and he cannot be resurrected. Karama Yakumo. Yes, I remember my husband wrote in his diary again that the Pure Land world was opened up in the underworld by Sage of Six Paths, and it was specially used to store the souls of powerful ninjas. Before that, resurrection was not a thing. Simple things. Samui. Obviously, Sage of Six Paths is not ignorant of the Otsutsuki clan, and he is also actively preparing for battle with his own methods to deal with the Otsutsuki clan. Azuki Shion. I think this idea is valid. 100,000 white Zetsu is not enough for Master First Hokage to fight alone. If Sage of Six Paths revives countless strong men from the past years, it is really interesting to resist Otsutsuki. Otsutsuki Kagaya. Is there a joke? Hehe, weak and ignorant. You can find a way to ask Yu Chen. How strong is the power of my Otsutsuki clan? To break through this dimension, a random finger can turn this planet into dust, and a magical technique can rewrite the rules of this world. How can you play? Makoto. In that case, what are you working on? Kagaya. It's okay to tell you, my Otsutsuki family is divided into the main family, and the branch house. The main family is supreme and its status will never change. The pursuit of life is to become a god. Kagaya. The family uses the fruit of the sacred tree to make alchemy and enshrines it to the people of the main family, and they can use inferior elixir, or occasionally get rewards from the main family. What they want is to become the lowest level of gods, so that they can become the main family of the same line. Kagaya. Most of the branch houses are sacrifices, they are the guardians of clan members. After countless sacrifices, they lose their ego, and after becoming a brand new self, they continue to serve the clan and branch house. There is a very slim chance to change this fate. Kagaya. The concubine was originally the daughter of the clan, a princess of the same line, but due to some accidents, she became a person of the branch house when she was about to be enshrined. The concubine was not willing to such a fate, so she made a move on Otsutsuki to seize the fruit and awaken her power. Kagaya. This world is a bit special. The fruit bred by the sacred tree is extremely strong. After swallowing it, I will directly stand on the peak of Six Paths, but it is nothing in front of some long-standing clan members, so I have to prepare. Kagaya. My Otsutsuki family has a tradition that conflicts between the main family and branch house members have to be resolved by themselves, and the main family will not take action unless there are 10 parties who use external connections. Kagaya. White Zetsu is just one of the manifestations of the concubine's strength, so it is naturally not included in the list of foreign aid, but if Yuya is really like you said, using the creatures of this world to help, it will attract more Otsutsuki people. Kagaya. Now, do you still think concubines are ignorant? She is not stupid. How could she not know that no matter how many white Zetsu there are, they are not as powerful as a quasi-Six Paths level powerhouse? But white Zetsu is her strength, and the strongest in this world are external forces. Disputes among clan members are family affairs, and of course they must be resolved internally. If you invite foreign aid to beat your own people, that is blatant betrayal. Naturally, the supreme family will come out of the people. Samui. That's how it is. From this point of view, you are not really stupid and sweet. Kagaya. My concubine knows more than you, and is at a higher altitude than you. Do you think you understand less than you? Makoto. So, what kind of spooky thing is true? Kagaya. A mere human being worthy of letting a concubine lie? Kushina. Although your words are ugly, I still want to thank you for telling us this matter. Yamanaka Ino. I really should be grateful, thank you. Hyuga Hinata. Thank you. Azuki Shion. I thank you on behalf of Shikamaru and Choji. Yu Rihong. I thank you on behalf of Shino. Tsunade. Although Kagaya-ji has an unpleasant personality and has done things that threaten human beings, one size counts for another. The information she revealed really helped us. I think we should all be grateful, otherwise I accidentally encounter Mr. Yu Chen can't revive our situation, that would be bad. Makoto. That's right, I suddenly thought that if my pupil power can be strengthened, the pupil technique can also reach the level of directly taking the soul and sending it to the next life. This is indeed a problem, and we must pay attention to it. TNTN. Resurrection is not absolute, everyone cannot be afraid of death just because of resurrection. At this moment, the alarm bells rang in the hearts of the women. Because Yu Chen has many ways to bring people back to life, they really no longer fear death, and they don't even take it seriously. Anyway, if they accidentally die, someone will resurrect them. But what Kagaya-ji said made them realize that resurrection is only for the death of the body. What if the death of the soul? For example, Indra and Ashura, the sons of 6 paths, after experiencing several rounds of reincarnation, strictly speaking, they have completely died. There are still things in this world that they don't know, and they haven't seen the wider sky. Before going to a higher world with Yu Chen, you still need to be a little cautious. From this point alone, it is definitely not an exaggeration to give Kagaya-ji a verbal thank you. Thank you, concubine? Otsutsuki Kagaya had a surprised expression on his face at this time. He was not proud or satisfied with the sudden collective thanks from the girls. She said so much, not to give them science and let them thank herself. Her real purpose is obviously to make these people feel hopeless. Kagaya. You guys, don't you despair. By Wooden Golem. Desperate. Why despair? Cats have 9 lives. Black soil. With this information, we can avoid danger in advance, isn't it a good thing? Terumi May. Having the opportunity to be resurrected after death has already made us surpass 99% of the living beings. We should not be too greedy. Yamanaka Ino. Maybe there will be fear, but as long as I think of brother Yu Chen, I feel that there is no hurdle that I cannot overcome. Makoto. This time, I will thank you by my real name. 4x. Kagaya. I don't need your thanks at all, I want you to despair. Kagaya. Your despair is the best thanks to my concubine. Kushina. Then I don't want to thank you, it means not to despair. Makoto. Look at you, you are still arrogant. Kagaya. Tsunere. How can a concubine be arrogant? Ridiculous. Sam Yi. You are quite cute when you say something that you don't mean. Cute. Slander, they are slandering the concubine. How can a woman with such a hockey body be cute? Kagaya. When I am resurrected, I will kill you. Female. Yes. When the time comes, we will line up. Come on. Puff. He even forgot to call himself a concubine, obviously it was Shin. It looks so cute, what's the matter? Damn, hate. The concubine will definitely kill you, absolutely. In the first ball space, Kagaya did not have the calmness of the past at all, and looked furious. But there is no room for any change in the environment, which seems to be the truest portrayal of her inner emotions. Yamanaka Ino. Sister, are you still there? Uzumaki Shanglin. Maybe I'm busy, everyone. A series of messages are sent out. Yi Kang. I saw it, wait a minute. Boom. After taking care of a few armor puppets casually, Yi Kang asked Ziyuan, in the future you see, how exactly did we die? Huh. Ziyuan grabbed Yi Kang's sleeve and replied, 7 days later, a man named Huang Quan led 4 of his men into the barrier to manipulate the ghost army to launch the final impact on us. Sister Yi Kang, your body was destroyed by the ghost army, and your soul entered the Pure Land world. Those 3 uncles died of exhaustion, and their bodies were sent to Wangchen River by Wangchen to die. The others, I only saw them killed. Understood? Yi Kang nodded. Yi Kang. I confirmed it with Ziyuan. The death was because a person named Huang Quan passed away 7 days later, after which my soul returned to the Pure Land, but Nara Shirju and the 3 of them were sent to the Huang Quan River to die, and the resurrection was cut off opportunity, so you must let Yu Chen come to save people. Tsunade. I understand, it's good to know the reason. I can arrange people to find the island you are on first, and send Yu Chen to save people 3 days later. Huang Quan has not come yet. Yi Kang. Okay, I'll hide first. Yi Kang stared. Although there is Ziyuan's prophecy, she has to be more prepared. She will be fine, she can be resurrected after death, but Ino Shikacho and the others have to be careful. Black soil. I have a bold idea, why not let Yi Kang take everyone to commit suicide and return to the Pure Land, and then let Uchiha Itachi be resurrected together at that time, won't you be afraid of death? The girls were speechless for a while. Tien, you are really smart. Normal people don't even want to have pain. Who would be willing to die and feel the feeling of death if they have nothing to do? Besides, witches seal sprites and monsters, so they die casually. What about the seal? In the end, Yi Kang commented on what persuaded Senior Lu Ju that they committed suicide or were killed. Black soil. Well, I was stupid. Tsunade. Anyway, I'm starting to make arrangements now, please be careful not to reveal your secrets. All the girls. Received. Guaranteed to complete the task. So an hour later. Zhao Yuchen sat on the main guard at the dining table, elegantly wiped the corners of his mouth with a handkerchief, glanced at the women who were having breakfast together, and asked, "You all have something wrong today, are you hiding something from me?" A great actor not only needs to be good at acting, but also needs to pay attention to the acting skills of the opponent, be able to take on the play and bring people into the play, in order to present a wonderful performance. Zhao Yuchen, as a capable person, not only can act in a show, but also is good at observing others. So these clumsy performances by the girls in front of him are ridiculous. Azuki Shion. Sure enough, it was discovered, and everyone is going to implement the second plan. Female. Understood. Do you want to talk about personal matters? Then I will leave first. Haito said goodbye. As a simple person without a city government, it must be the first time to leave the center of Uzumaki. Let me go with you. I heard that Muyi Chudai Hokage and second Hokage are resurrected. I need to talk to fifth Hokage about something. Terumi Mei followed suit. In fact, she would rather stay here to watch the good show, or tease Yuchen well, and have a trick with him. But today's situation is not right, and she doesn't want to be a target. Then I too. Wooden Golem picked his teeth with satisfaction, stood up and prepared to leave. But seeing that Samuel was still sitting, she wondered, "Samui, aren't you going?" "You go out first, I'll come right away," Samui said with a cold face. Okay. The two, led by Wooden Golem, did not disagree with Samuel. The three left Zhao Yuchen's house first. Only Samui, Kushina, Makoto, Karama Yakumo, Hyuga Hinata, Yamanaka Ino, Yuhihong, Azuki Shion, Mitarashi Anko, and Shanglin were left on the table. "Teacher Yuchen, I'm here to send you something customized, please sign for it." Tien took out several seal scrolls and put them on the table. Sealed inside is the flying thunder god kunai that Zhao Yuchen needs, as well as various customized membership cards. "I'm no longer the ninja school teacher. If you don't mind, just call me brother along with Hinata." Zhao Yuzo put the scroll away with a smile. This cost him a lot of money, and it will be arranged in more places in the ninja world, and even in other continents outside the ninja world. "Okay. From now on I'll be called Brother Yuchen." Tianchen smiled sweetly. The appearance of her hair with balls is very friendly, which makes Yuchen a little apprehensive. At this time, Samuel stood up from his seat. Whether he was sitting or lying down, he was the tallest among all the girls present, instantly putting pressure on everyone and attracting Yuchen's attention. "I heard that Wooden Golem told you about me." Samuel turned his eyes slightly, his expression a little unnatural. Some little girls were ashamed of being punctured, but they also felt a little angry. "I said it, and I promised her that I will solve this matter." Zhao Yuchen nodded solemnly. "Cloud Shinobi Village Flower, you must have an idea, don't you?" "Okay. Remember your promise." Samuel bravely looked at Yuchen, and said seriously, "I'll leave it to you, I'll wait for you." After speaking, Samuel turned and left with a ripple in the air. Zhao Yuchen watched her towards the door, and there was something extra in his eyes. "There is good news that must be recorded. The flower of Cloud Shinobi Village next door has been taken by me." Cloud Shinobi Village Flower, in front of Yuchen's mansion, Wooden Golem touched his chin, wondering. "When did Yuchen take me down? Why didn't I know?" "By Wooden Golem, what are you talking about?" Matabi's voice sounded, with a hint of relief. "Matabi, you showed up just in time. Do you think I was taken down by dust?" The two were asked by Wooden Golem. "Take it? Take what? It should mean that if I catch up with her, I am willing to become her woman." "When and what happened at this time? Why do I not know at all?" Matabi showed a cute expression. "Yeah. Where did she get the wrong message from?" "By Wooden Golem. How do you know he thinks you got him?" "How did I know that? I can't tell you, but he is very confident that he won our Cloud Shinobi Village Flower, isn't that me?" Wooden Golem flicked his braids. "I'm very confident." But in the seal inside her body, Matabi's eyes showed doubts. Although it is not a human being, it knows that different human beings have different aesthetics, like things and hobbies. After all, the nine-tailed beasts have different personalities and different hobbies. In the eyes of some people, the two wooden golems may be the most attractive women in Cloud Shinobi Village, but the number one beauty recognized by Cloud Shinobi Village must be the beautiful woman with fair skin, long legs, big breasts and royal sister temperament. Mui. By Wooden Golem, where does this confidence come from? Confidence is a good thing, and you are indeed beautiful, but I think it is better not to claim some honors, otherwise it will be very embarrassing. What do you think? Matabi persuaded. You mean, I'm not the flower of Rain Shinobi Village. I'm Jinchuriki, the #1 woman in Cloud Shinobi Village. Among the same beauty, I think strength is a plus, but if there is an obvious gap. Matabi, are you still my partner? But, I can't lie, you sleepy man. Matabi stretched out the cat's paw. Damn it, there is a reason why you were tricked into being a female personality by Shuhei. By Wooden Golem, if I tell you the truth, you will attack me cattlely? There was a bitter smile in Matabi's voice. If you don't agree with me, I will attack you, attack you. If your admirers in Cloud Shinobi Village find out about your acting like a rascal now, you will definitely be surprised, Matabi said with a good temper. Cut, they won't know. Wooden Golem took on the posture of Yuji again, and then said, so you also think that Samui is a village flower? Otherwise who else? Cut, what's so great about big breasts? Wooden Golem gritted his teeth. But as soon as she finished speaking, a voice suddenly sounded from behind. Big breasts are amazing. Samui. When were you here? When you muttered to yourself, blindly thinking that you were the flower of Cloud Shinobi Village. Samui folded his arms, with the contempt of a king. Don't be complacent. Believe it or not, I betrayed Cloud Shinobi Village and joined Konoha to learn 100 healings mark. Hey, can the acquired be compared with the innate? Samuel pursed his lips slightly and said, and you may not be able to master the 100 healings mark, but I believe Yu Chen will definitely improve it and teach me that you are not my opponent. Quote. Damn it, Samui, I want to fight you. Are you Jinchuriki, taking me for a fool? Samuel turned around and left. Seeing this, Wooden Golem followed immediately, and asked with doubts. Leaving aside the matter of the village flower, you actually decided to be with Yu Chen? Isn't this thanks to you? Nonsense, you can obviously choose to speak clearly. That would be suspicious, and in our Cloud Shinobi Village, there must always be a woman by his side. So you decided to wrong yourself? Are you wronged? Samuel stopped and asked. Wooden Golem was at a loss for words, but he couldn't say anything against his will. As far as Yu Chen is concerned, any woman has no grievances with her, only whether she wants to or not. Actually, I am very willing, Samuel secretly said in his heart. That guy Yu Chen must also know it well, but at least in the eyes of outsiders, she doesn't want to give it away for nothing. What about you? What's on your mind? Let me hear it. Zhao Yu Chen swept over the girls with playful eyes. Well, Makoto and I erased the past memories. Kushina raised her hand. Immediately, she and Uchiha Makoto became the focus of the audience. Makoto. Although everyone agreed in the group, if Yu Chen finds a problem, he will disclose some information to cover it up. But you don't have to say such explosive news. Delete, memory? Zhao Yu Chen looked at Makoto. Since when did this woman have this ability? It is the power of my Mangekyo Sharingan pupil technique, which can swallow part of the soul and erase part of the chakra, but it does not hurt the root, and it will be replenished soon, but the memory will not. Makoto explained. Zhao Yu Chen nodded knowingly, that makes sense. He doesn't care about this ability, because after awakening Tensigan, these are basic exercises. It's just erasing the memory, as long as it's not about me, I won't be angry. Zhao Yu Chen showed a gentle smile. That can't be a memory related to you. Kushina said immediately. Who would be so stupid as to forget their own happiness? You can talk. Zhao Yu Chen nodded at Kushina, and then looked at the other women. Brother Yu Chen, father has invited you to visit Hyuga's house. Hyuga Hinata said with a slightly red face. This expression can't help but make people imagine, what Hyuga Hiyashi wants to talk to Zhao Yu Chen about is probably unusual. Okay. Tell Senior Hiyashi that I will formally visit when I prepare a meeting ceremony. Zhao Yu Chen readily agreed and gave Hinata a secret signal. Yeah. Hinata nodded obediently. Now she will not faint easily. Yu Chen big brother, I'm fine. Uzumaki stood up and put away the tableware, not forgetting to show his presence. Seeing this, Hinata stood up to help. Seeing this, Yamanaka Ino followed suit to avoid being seen by Yu Chen. I want to find you to complete the endless competition, Azuki Shion said seriously. Is it better to hit the sun than to choose the day? Is it possible the day after tomorrow? I want to prepare. Azuki Shion thought for a while and said. Okay. Let's tentatively decide the day after tomorrow. Where is Hong? Me? I just want to know when Yakumo will heal. It will take another month to maintain the current data effect, but when my strength improves, this time can be advanced. Then I'll be fine. Where's Anko? Me. Han. Mitarashi. Anko stood up in a panic. To be honest, she hasn't figured out how to deal with it yet. She thought that because of her acting skills, Yu Chen would not pay attention to her. If I knew it earlier, I wouldn't join in the fun and come here for breakfast. That. Mr. Yu Chen, do you want to play with snakes? Yu Chen. Silent. Female. Silent.